That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Yeah, I'm fucking like this is the original drama cast. Stop the point. Got the whole crew here. Kite, Genie, Vault, Verse. Let's do a watch party, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm early. Why not? Why not be early? Hey, I guess I'm gonna get right into it immediately. I have to. I guess this had to be what spawned it. You know, because we have like a video of, you know, I made videos on people for stupid reasons. It was petty. It was childish. You know, all that other stuff. And then this happens 1 month ago, and we get an hour content call for the first time in 8 years. So, I mean, so basically what idubbbz is telling us, he's still the insecure 20-year-old, just within an ideology instead of
no, he's being a hero this time, Tommy. He's doing it for the good instead of the bad.
Yeah, it's so funny. He doesn't even realize what the contradiction is. It's funny. So we'll get into it real quick, but I think it's important to set this up. This is what got him. This is what motivates him, right? This is what motivates him.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and idubbbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know what?
You deserve this. I can't say this fucking enough. He deserves it. Let me ask you something before you guys get mad at me. And by the way, what's happening to Ethan is wrong. This is a backstab in the highest order. Let me make this. You deserve this. I go freaking hang out with a bunch of bikers and I get shit kicked out of me, or drug dealers, or the IRA, or any other kind of skinheads, Nazis, any other kind of, you know, like, because, you know, I like the idea, the mafia, I like the idea.
How about we get like a 2025 reference? You go and buy weed on the street instead of going to a fucking pharmacy these days, and you get fentanyl.
Yeah,
you deserve what you get. You fucking retard.
It's like the thing is, to me, for something like this, because look, I mean, we're gonna give idubbbz video a chance. I don't. If he changes my mind, he changes my mind. But he's never made an hour content cop on anybody, you know. And to get this is obviously done for petty reasons. This obviously pissed him off. But at the same time, I cannot fucking set this off. He hung around the worst in our society. Apparently, this entire video was the people idubbbz thank are Denims and Hassan. These are Hassan, radical Frogan. These are radical extremists. Frogan, somebody wished American soldiers dead, you know, or PTSD or what have you. These people are next level extremists. They're just as bad as like Nazis and skinheads, except they're on the left. Yes, the left has those extremists too, you know. So that's who we threw in with. That's who we threw in with. And the truth is he probably always felt this way about Ethan. You know, he's probably one of these guys, like, you know, when he has a conversation, like Ethan's talking, he's like, Joe.
Look at his nose.
Joe, look at his nose. Joe, look at his nose. He's a Jew. He thinks about
I wonder if he smells money.
That's who he was, Ethan. And you should have fucking known that. You should have known that. I'm dead serious about it. But let's get
I just like how you did your Hila voice for that. That's why I was laughing.
No,
Ethan.
Why? Because
your nose, Ethan.
They'll get murdered for saying one goddamn fucking thing in our defense. Like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually,
and let me, from my own fucking perspective,
you actually don't need to interact with real people. Ever.
Yeah, you're right. You'll have to pull up this.
$14454 donated $10. You had to pull up for this. Peeped a couple of minutes of the content cop. I'm gonna hate this garbage.
Thank you, Reverend. Appreciate it so much. Yeah, I don't know these guys. I have not watched it yet, but I will give it a fair shake. But I mean,
this clip, by the way, just so you don't repeat, this clip is in the intro of the video.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So he's right out in front of it. So he completely contradicts himself fucking right away. is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's. I just wanted to tell you so you don't watch this.
So
twice
the whole
if you haven't
thing. So
seen
the whole
it.
thing about him being a different person is complete bullshit.
No, he's like I said, Tommy. He's doing it for the good this time.
Oh, I see.
Dude, he's
He's not
saving
doing
kids
it. He's
right
not
now,
doing
right?
it for the. Yeah, he's not
Get
doing
right
it
into
for like the
Get to it.
Nazis and
Hey,
everything like he
Ethan,
was
you
before.
deserve it. You hung around these fucking guys. I have no fucking sympathy for you, other than you have like really lousy friends, and I knew that before any of this happened.
The beach is surprisingly dangerous. Consider the
fucking thing in our defense, like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far, because they have mobilized such an...
Hey, isn't it funny, Ethan? The guys that you hated, the guys that you thought were the fucking Nazis, like Nick Diorio and myself,
We're the most reasonable
and Keemstar. I want you to remember that Keemstar is 100% on your side. Now that's going after petty shit. The commentary community, the ones that just we hate Jews just because they're Jewish. No. You were hanging around people like that. Yeah, remember that?
Insane.
I really wish out of everything I've said on the show, if I could guess one fucking thing for Ethan to hear that I've said, I wish that was it.
Harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people.
What we do here is go back.
That's it? That's what got you to do it? The fact that he stuck up for you and you didn't show him the same fury? Like, oh, I'll get you back now. That's it? What a whack job, exactly. That's it? You're that petty? You just went on how much you hate the people that enjoyed your own stuff. Because the type of person you are was insecure, was apathetic. And then you started dressed like a slob in front of a TV, looked like the epitome of apathy. You're like the visualization of it. This is like the visualization of apathy right here. Am I wrong?
And
that is apathy. Because you probably still are apathetic. You probably still haven't grown at all. Most people don't. You fucking join the club.
Let's go back.
Oh, I'm so excited. Cum stains on that thing? What the fuck? It's not even the traditional. It's not even content cop. This is just a hit piece cop. And remember, Leaves. Leaves. I mean, they did put personal stuff in there. Leaves, Jinx, fucking Rice Gum, Leafy, whatever the fuck their names are. It was all about their content, and then they threw the personal insults in. This can't be on his content, I was there at DayZ yesterday.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hassan broadcast coming to you live from a cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's content nuke, and I'm not going to call it context puke as I normally do because the reality of the matter is it was brilliant. Nothing was out of context. Everything was correct. I am an Islamist fundamentalist.
No, he did. That's another thing. Ethan's probably on right now watching this shit, right?
He is.
And this bitch never actually did it. Couldn't even watch his own fucking video.
The radical terrorist. I am a vicious anti-Semite. It's true. Most importantly, Ethan is more attractive than me, both physically and
I'll tell you something else is true. You believe in an ideology. You are a communist. You believe in an ideology that killed more people than Hitler. That's fucking fact. You meet with communists on a regular basis. That's not like an exaggeration. That's not hyperbolic. You meet with people that conform to an ideology, most recently in Japan, that actually ended up killing more people than the Nazis themselves. So yeah, I think it's fair to call you an extremist.
Also mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the content nuke. And he was right about that too. How did he know everything?
Why did you think this is perfect? It's funny. Just because he wanted to make sure H3 knew that what a fucking backstabber he was.
Ow. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
You don't have the power you used to. This is what I was talking about yesterday. This is not so he's fucking leaning into content cop is the type of content that ends your career. Right? That's fucking what was the last RiceCon video? 8 years ago? Am I wrong? 7?
Nearly, yeah.
Yeah, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
So you're leaning into that meme too, even though like there's been 20 videos in that 8 years. He never really took out anybody but Jinx. That's it. Like fucking, I mean, Leafy's views went down, but it was like, not like yours didn't. You're not cracking 1 million like you used to.
Dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Hey, look, for all you veterans out there, look who he threw in with.
Ew. It's fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. He look to all the vets out there that are a little sympathetic to Palestine. Look who they threw in with.
Wake up, Ethan.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up. Since anyone? Just wake up.
This was only 1 month. 1 month of after, why didn't you stick up for me when they're saying all these horrible things about my wife, me, and my friend? I'm poisoning my children? I hope he addresses that. I'm dying to know.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not going to do a react content yet, chat.
I'm the same. Nobody's told you to wake up, Ethan.
Yummy, I love Sabra hummus.
Wake up, Ethan.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yummy, I love Sabra.
Did they all get suspended for Twitch for this shit? Am I wrong? For the summer shit?
Okay.
So, see, Ethan's got to own this shit now. I'm not even talking about her for a second. Right? It's the most anti-Semitic fucking stunt they have ever pulled. And he's embracing it. So, I do hate, I'm one of those people too, anybody is for those four people in Palestine is automatically a Jew hater. I hate that shit too. I'm like, but hey, all right, I got a fucking Arab Muslim here. Am I wrong on this one fucking fault?
No, yeah, that is.
Yeah, this throws in. This is unbelievable. So you're the extremist too.
We're not even. The thing is, we're not even 10 minutes in.
10 minutes in, you threw in with the Sabra thing. They all apologize for this shit, right?
I thought so.
That's wild.
That is wild. That is wild.
Not really.
So I look, when I did this before, it was total hyperbole. It was totally over the top. It was not to be taken literally. Not at all. When I was going, Jew, big nose, money. And I was making fun of he. Now I believe it. Now I think it's on the fucking, I hit it on the nail with the hammer. It was totally over the top.
Yeah, but it's on the fucking money,
I did not believe that literally when I said it. I absolutely do now. I absolutely, without a doubt, he's thrown in with the most extremist people that you could possibly have fucking imagine.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan.
Wow. Hey, Ethan, nobody ever liked you. Nobody ever liked you to begin with because you were a Jew. Remember that next time you make progressive friends. Yeah, maybe the people that are either not fucking political or right wing probably hate you a lot less.
All right. I didn't.
That's what he just said. It doesn't get a lot better. A lot of this stuff is old jokes too. It hasn't. You can see it's still stuck kind of in 2018, 2017.
Plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. H3 content cop, idubbbz. Ethan Klein's out of control. And then you should do a content cop on Hassan Piker. Content cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would imagine this.
He pulled up Sargon's name?
Did he come out of fucking time machine?
When was the last time Sargon was relevant in our community, in the commentary? 2018, when he got in a fight with Medicare?
In 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not.
It's true!
Me losing the plot. It's Ethan. He's the one who fucking attacked first.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
She did say go fuck yourself. So you did kind of invite it there to some extent.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you a story about.
Did kind of fucking invite it there.
About Ethan Klein.
Yeah, no.
I know some
Having
of
an
you have
emotional
been
response
following him,
totally
but-
prompts making an hour-long video with extremists.
Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't, but I mean, if I'm going by fucking what you call it standards, community standards, that's more than enough. Look, in our world, but it does seem a weird thing to do. Like, it just goes to show you, like, nobody's fucking friends. Nobody really has these relationships you think they have. You know, one of the reasons I was punished over Keemstar is people actually believed we were close. You know, or wanted to believe it. So when I stabbed him in the back, you know, I certainly deserved what was coming to me. In some sense, I did by working with him to begin with. But there's another fucking comparison.
There's a lot of people who might not be familiar with the background, with his pod.
If Ethan wasn't a disloyal
Sofu
cunt.
donated $5.
Wow.
If I were a man being used like an attack dog for another man, I'd feel emasculated, but I guess Ian's used to that.
Yeah, I guess so there. That is some truth in that.
Podcast with what's been going on over the past couple of years. So Ethan, as you know, is a content creator who has a podcast where he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different controversial characters. He's had
I bet it, yeah, Bobak's made it. Wow.
a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with Hassan Piker. In doing so, he's gathered...
He's brought in fucking nuts like you. The best thing about that show is Ethan got what he deserved. He learned who his real friends are.
a ton of different audiences. Now, in his podcast with Hassan, Leftovers, they would mostly talk...
John, you did... I didn't get to finish. Put the comment in. It was good. I just can't scroll back in this position. Write it again. I'll read it. It was a good comment.
Talk about surface level progressive shit and make fun of right wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their dick once at least?
Oh, that's 100 shavers. You trans women. I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
What? He called dead babies settlers. How is he equipped?
He literally said that babies were legitimate military targets.
Yeah, how is he?
He literally, not verbatim, he didn't say that, but he literally said that. Yeah, he said, babies are settlers too. So settlers are, regardless of their civilian status, they're still military targets. That's what he said. He was much more equipped for that. This is, really. If I was Ethan, I wouldn't even feel that bad about this. This is obviously, he lost the plot. This is dissent.
Okay, buddy.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living conditions by the state of Israel, America's greatest ally and the only democracy in the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, that dance he invented was so kick-ass.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem.
Wait a minute. He said he went in there. Like, did he just Froggy Fresh him? Yeah, he did.
Kind of did.
No, I understand. I understand that. I understand. I understand like doing stuff for fun stuff, but he did set this up as like this is the conversation that happened in Leftovers, and then made an edit. Now I understand like for satirical purposes, you could do that, but not when you set it up like that. That's just dishonest. So he Froggy Freshed him. Got it.
The United Nations says that that may be a war crime. It literally...
If you're a Jew, I don't know how you can go or support Creator Craftsly. I don't know how you could do it. Not because they attacked Ethan, because this guy like supports the worst part of the Palestinian people. And I'm not talking about the 4 fucking families that have been blown apart in this fucking horrible conflict. I'm talking about the guys that those bombs are looking for.
Is.
Was just eating the toppings. And the pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021.
Why?
It's insensitive to burn victims.
I think it's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan was not prepared for this. Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine. You know, we don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously caught.
I don't expect the other guy to be on the content. He's just a propagandist for the far left. But go ahead.
In this tricky situation where he is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel.
Wait a minute. That's not fucking even true.
He literally condemned them.
He condemned the country.
And the Israeli government multiple times.
It's like unbelievable. He literally condemned them. He's looking for, he did support the Palestinians. What he was looking for from Assam is some empathy for the people that were murdered on October 7th. That's all. That's where the fight came up. He wanted empathy. That's all he wanted. Look, I have empathy for this fucking people. I am 100%, by the way, no fucking bull, but I'm 100% for Israel. All right, 100%. I dealt with those fucking, I saw what they did at 9/11. I'm a 9/11 witness. I was in the military. I'm a war and terror veteran. I don't want anything to do with that kind of extremism. Even knowing that, I realize that there are Iraqis and Israeli people that are just sucked up into this, and it's not their fault, and they want to go down, and they want to live like everybody else, Muslims included. Fucking Hassan couldn't do what I just did. And he's never been in a war zone. That's all fucking Ethan wanted. That's all he wanted. You sick fuck. You look like a cancer patient. Now, I hope the next thing happens.
On the other hand, he's just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hassan.
No, they're not.
Hassan is...
They're fucking like Sam Hyde fans. They're just like, all it is a goddamn... Imagine having this worldview. All they are is it's just what do they call it? They just what do they call that when you just like you get gang up on somebody?
Tommy.
Yeah, a retard. Nah, when you just like groups of people that just gang up on people for entertainment. That's all it is.
Oh, dogpiling.
Yeah, dogpiling. That's all it is on both sides. The right wing guys have this. Medicare guys like this. Fucking. You know.
Yeah, they just dogpile.
That's all it is.
And debate dishonestly, and they go.
Not
clean
intellectual.
victory.
I don't Kleeman right now. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Strictly a political streamer, so this is something they're very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda.
Good, isn't he obligated to make one inaccurate statement? I'm sure he made one, and not fucking clips from something else. Unbelievable.
I mean, he does fucking like hours long of live streams.
Oh my god! Yeah, like hours long.
How does he not misspeak? How does he like not to say oops, wrong thing?
All right, so there's two things I can believe here.
You actually don't need to interact with real people ever.
What?
Just Mego Udors donated $10. Hey, Tommy was listening to the show the other day and someone said Anisa smells like weed and fish tacos.
Yeah, I heard.
That made me think of a joke I heard. What's the difference between weed and pussy? If you can
smell it across the room, shut up. All right, thank you.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience that Ethan has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it not on Leftovers. He's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some...
Something tells me the timeline's out of order here. You know that? I think this happened when it was over. And we saw him do this to Froggy Fresh. He fired him because he said rotten shit about his wife. And then all this rotten shit he said to his wife was fucking after he fired him. Yeah, after he fired him. Yeah. I wonder. Look, I don't got time. I'm doing this live. I'm seeing this for the first time, like you are. Nothing would surprise me less if you watch Nick DiOrio in the next couple of days and see just that, because he'll do the T crossing and the eye dotting.
super racist,
Oh, not even 10
crazy,
minutes
you know, like.
What's that? And we're not even 10 minutes in.
Yeah, not even 10 minutes in.
And I got interrupted by a dono before. So like the thing, like we have to at this point. I mean, this is just off the top of my memory with no studying. He either is unbelievably ignorant, omitted something maliciously, or outright lied. And I think all three things happen. And that's how easy it is at this point. Hey, this is what progressive politics do to you. They turn you to a really sharp guy, to somebody who's will tell checkable lies. You know,
Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hassan, all of these different people. He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits, and everybody thinks this guy's awesome, apparently. Even though he looks like Millhouse, fucking dork.
Denims, by the way, was the real villain of the video. Evil, hateful, fucking. And I'll say it.
Hey, is that unreasonable? What we know about Denims and how the embarrassment she's made about herself?
Not at all.
No, is that an unreasonable take?
I'll double
She's
down
just
on it.
eye candy. That's all she is.
I know. God, I was a bimbo.
It's just a nice pair of tits.
No,
That's all Denims
you know,
is.
I think about the time when I'm in Iraq, right? And they had these two girls that were translators, and they were like they were dressed in jeans and regular clothes, nothing revealing or anything like that. And then the Iraqi army, the guys that were on our side, walked into I was online with them, right? And my sergeant was Sergeant Al-Ghabab. He's a Muslim too, right? So both American Army. And then the Iraqi guys, the guys that were on our side, come in to get in line to go into the thing. And those girls that were in front of us started legging it. Well, why? Because they're dressed in Western clothes. That's who these people are fucking supporting. Look, it's a lot. You know, one of the things I learned.
A very extremist end.
Yeah, that's like, I understand that's not your country where you're from, but that, I mean, look, I was in the middle of a war zone in Iraq in a Muslim country, so they started legging it, legging it. Oh, not eating this defact.
And it's all culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe—
Harassment? Get help. This is
jokes.
Oh, it's the communist line. You're either mentally ill or you're committing a crime. Now, he's full-blown commie now, I bet.
Maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace.
You're mentally ill, you're evil. You're ignorant, you're evil. That's the progressive line.
And we can like rekindle our friendship. So that's been
when you submit, like I submitted to my wife. You submit to me, like I submitted to my wife, and maybe we can be friends. What a pal.
Approach. I've occasionally thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hassan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like idubbbz. He's a good.
These fucking guys were airing people that said they were poisoning their kids with fucking dog feces. I bet that's not going to be covered.
Guy, but I don't like this sweet stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism, and also he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there.
Is it a
I
warning?
used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. And one of those circles is an H3 fan. He watched Ethan's content, he liked Ethan's content, until he didn't like Ethan's content. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough.
I guess I just missed my old friend. Some wings are too bird feathered colored.
Now that brings us to February 28th.
Was that an example of harassing creators? Isn't that what he said
Probably
before?
did. Yes.
Yeah. Was that it? Was this it? It is funny with the lefties. Like any kind of fucking goofing on them is like akin to a crime. It's funny. It's funny to me.
This year. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that idubbbz's former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does Ethan get this information from? You see, it would be very obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with. He has maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information, and that would be horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be sending you things that are entertaining for your show that don't fucking trigger the...
You're not allowed to talk about Israel. That's
What
what
if-
that means.
what if
That's
the
you see what
negative
he's doing
shit
here?
is
You see what he's doing here?
Yeah.
You should be doing it. Stay in your fucking lane. Don't ever talk. Don't ever speak out. Let the experts handle it. This is really
Talk about flowers.
Yeah, talk about
Palestine.
flowers. Don't be talking about that. Leave it to us, the smart people.
the hell out of you. Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting on the Reddit, when there's no work being put into who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place? If you do a little bit of research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history, and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges. This is within...
That is one hell of a conspiracy theory. I mean, look, the type of shit...
You met the goal, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, wow, that's great. Really? That's crazy. All right. Make another fucking goal then. That's... What was my promise? Okay, here we go. Hold on a second. I listen. I'm
I'll tell you to eat me.
Eat me! You're welcome. Let's get another goal.
Next goal, Tommy will free Palestine.
No.
Okay, buddy.
What else should I? Let's see. What should I do? I'll show you.
Donate your arcades to the IDF.
I'll show you how fat I am. I really could use some money. I'll jump up.
Wow, we really couldn't tell.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off.
No, I'm not doing that. That's worth $1,000. Sorry, I'm not asking these people for $1,000.
Be careful what you wish for. I paid $400 to make Xylee.
Yeah,
you saw that?
That ass
Yeah.
will jump up and down.
Yeah, be careful. Xylee has to dump milk all over her fucking self because I paid her.
She did. I saw the clip.
I didn't watch
You
it. I
brought
didn't
the word
see it.
up.
Too late now, I think.
You said we'll jump and down. What the fuck are you? Come on. I don't think you have enough room. Maybe. Let's see. Oh,
Jump
there we go.
and down.
There we go.
I keep saying error. Oh, I can't write ass. Oh God, it's like my
butts.
fat A will jump.
My fat A.
There you go. My fat A will jump up and down. There you go. Get back to the story.
Ethan's own community. Like, this is the thing that he needs to be critical of. It's not me. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch and respond to the two podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that
stream.
Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids.
This is what I want to say. What?
Move your
Still
screen.
showing yourself.
Yeah,
Oh,
You're in the wrong scene.
Wrong scene.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She went on like, she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and idubbbz's feed.
Here's what idubbbz is going to do. He's going to fucking lick the ass of the far terrorist left, right? At the same time, try to come off as being neutral.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening?
I'm going to say this, though. If you got to ask somebody to stick up for you, they're not your fucking friend. There's a few times where I wanted to do what Ethan did. And for the reason this video has happened, I've never done it. And in fact, you probably guys, back in the day when I was taking some shit and some buddies and friends of mine just stayed fucking silent. This is like you're going back years ago. I would bitch about it privately, but I knew I'd be setting a fucking trap for myself. if I bitched about it publicly. And I just let those people fade out of my life.
For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not gonna throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not gonna throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial.
What? He did a content cup on him.
Here we are.
Weird crash out.
How many women I fucked? Hassan?
Yeah, like I'm kind of right. Like he's trying to seem like he's above the normal commentary hit piece and still like click their ass. You can't even do that. Like it doesn't make any sense. It literally doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what this would have been a better thing to do? Hey, Ethan, like just a Twitter video. I really don't appreciate you bringing up my editor that I have nothing to do with it and tying me into this. Like I got to stick up and stick my fucking foot in this mess, right? I don't, like, if you want to do that, that's for you. But you can't be dragging me into it just because a guy that I have nothing to do with anymore is saying rotten shit. I'm sorry. Bang. And then you know what? Everybody has to agree with you. No, you did a content cop. That's next level. You even lean into the meme that content cop is a career ender. You fucking use the most racist part that these people have ever participated in, with the exception of Hassan, with the Love Sabra meme. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Is it really so fucking hard to come away with the idea that you don't absolutely agree with your ex-editor and all you needed was an excuse to fire back?
By the way, thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, that's what wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism.
I'm going to tell you some little lesson here. I'm sticking up for idubbbz or all these scumbags. You start to see yourself as some kind of liberator, some kind of good guy. This is not a petty beef. I'm doing this for the good of the people. This is what gets you content copped. This is what happens when you try to play fucking hero. And this is a criticism to Ethan Klein, not the rest of these jerk-offs. Especially when you've been running some of the coldest, most evil, fake friend motherfuckers for the past 10 years. When you're surrounded by YouTubers.
These shoes do not go. I'm sorry.
There are many people, I'm sure, who have unfollowed you for the things that you've said and done. And I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless.
Yes! I mean, it'd be one thing if you took this to him and said, who the fuck are you to say that about me? Drag me and my wife into your situation. It's your war. It's not my fucking war. What the fuck's the matter with you, bro? Putting me on the spot like that. That's a private call, not a content cop. You can't be above it and then do something at this. This is like, look, people do petty shit all the time, but not all of them have 7 million on a platform. You can't play both ends, idubbbz. Like, yeah, I get it. You don't want to be dragged in. You're not entitled. You're not obligated to have an opinion on this shit, which clearly you do, right? But you cannot sit there and, that is unbelievable. The balls of this guy.
Cowardly.
Does he know he made it? Did he not, like, make this for content cop and then just, threw it into the final edit? Are you kidding me?
Because I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such an...
Because I gotta be honest, not every fucking point he's making is fucking wrong. He is not obligated, and Ethan is not entitled to some kind of backup. There could be a multitude of reasons for it, right? That are completely legitimate. But to fire back in less than 30 days with a content cop, pretty much means you're okay with that guy saying what he said.
Insane.
And I'm fine with it. I'm okay with what he said. Fuck Ethan. Fuck his face. It's fucking all. Every bit of this has just been the chickens coming home to roost for him. And I'm pro-Israel.
Harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like the #1 type of harassment I got, was people gaslighting me and taking my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I probably done and stood by idubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional. Like,
it is. All your relationships. I got news for everybody. Everybody. It makes it feel like it. Yes, it is. Your relationship with Joji was transactional. Okay, anything reviews. That fucking other guy in Australia, I can't remember his name, that follows me on Twitter. Oh, this fucking guy, Max. It's all. It makes it feel like, stop acting like you're above it. And you know what? I think it is pretty reasonable. It's pretty stupid to say publicly because none of these YouTubers can do anything. They cannot pick up this and say, what the fuck? Nobody can do it. It's all got to, and I'm guilty of this myself, by the way. Like fucking, like they have to do it, but it's not 100% of the time. See, we went from, this guy's out of line telling me to stick my nose into something that I don't want to stick my nose into, to content cop. That is 0 to 100 in like a finger slap. In a month, a 1 hour video in a month. There has never been a 1 hour content cop. Unfucking believable.
You know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
But I'll say this, I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. And certainly I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too.
Well, he did kind of ask for it there. If he cut off the friendship, I guess all's good. That was a pretty stupid thing to say, Ethan. There you go.
Before I even talk.
But I'm sorry, idubbbz, you still can't act like you're above it. You're just as fucking fucked as he is. And petty. And an egomaniac. Yeah, he said, they're no friends of mine. All right, you opened yourself up to it. He said, like, Ethan just said, where he's no friends of mine in a seriously polarizing topic to a guy that's found his new woke ideology, which is actually literally correct, that has access to content cop. Way to go. Ethan just keeps on making this worse than himself in some sense. You know, I think... I don't know what his next move is. You know, maybe he'll start hanging out with Somali pirates. I don't fucking know. Take up their cause.
That's about it. So I have nothing. I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the...
You know, another reason this doesn't work like the old content, it's so personal. It's personal. It's like there's no other content.
Yeah, it's going to show the text messages now.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like one of our videos. This is something idubbbz is supposed to be. It's like one of our stuff, you know? See? I got my receipts, like a lame video, not something actually really funny, you know?
But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to
He really Kathleen Kennedy his fucking shit. Like, this guy turned content cop to an average, like, fucking video. And if you see, you know what he should do? He should put Leafy's fucking CS:GO surfing in the background while he's talking about this, and just put the receipts on the thing. That's how lame this is.
Yeah, just like a nostalgia bit.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
Publicly say something about my former editor and denims. As much as you don't want halfway friends, I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want
So you're publicly breaking up with him.
Someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum to have a conversation.
Is this a public breakup? What the fuck
Yeah, it is.
happening?
That's what it is. It's a public breakup. You're exactly right. And by the way, I don't disagree with anything he just fucking said. If anybody does that to me, I don't know if I do that, but I might tell you to fuck off. Like, I got to be honest. One thing that Ian has proved about Ethan, he had every right to tell this guy to fuck. You imagine if I went, like the way I feel about Israel, and I went to Vault and I demanded he speak out against the fucking Palestinians. I don't know what kind of position that puts him in with his family. I don't know what kind of position that puts, I don't know his personal values on everything. We've discussed it a little, but I don't really know how hardcore he feels about it. It is his part of the world too. And I just dismissed it. And I started saying, Walt is a fake fucking friend because he didn't stick up for me. None of you guys did stick up for me on that one, and rightfully so. Cuck versus Jew. But I still think this is a massive overreaction. But I also believe, like, mostly hanging around communists, hanging around extremists. Like, it's like this guy is a shell of himself. We all knew that ahead.
And what did that caller say from yesterday? How fucking, this is just very hypocritical. He's just using negative content to perpetuate
at the same time, he's
negativity.
Told us he was above all
he
this.
apologized for
and
it.
he's doing it in the fucking thing. He's like saying, I'm above this. Why I do this? It's funny. These people are morons.
Ethan, stop making me hit you. Ethan, stop making me hit you. Ethan, stop hitting yourself, Ethan.
Your big nose.
Could you not say something?
Get out of the way.
This is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything
and
like
I was
that.
supposed
Yeah, and how am I supposed to take you seriously, Hila? You threw your fucking old brother under the bus. Maybe this is a case of everybody's fucking terrible. You threw your fucking sister-in-law, your brother on the bus. You divided your whole fucking family, and you made it a public thing. And then what instead of fucking making a phone call and straighten shit out, I'm gonna do a content cop. 1 month, 8 years. 1 month after it happens, 8 years. 8 years after the last one was made, and only 6 months to a year to say why it was immature of me to make them in the first place. It's just an ocean of hypocrisy, and it's funny. It's very, very funny on all fucking ends.
Like this just summarizes my opinion on Israel and Palestine. They all suck.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Yeah. I can see how you got there. I don't feel that way, by the way.
They all suck.
I don't feel that way, like I think well, a lot of my sympathies for Israel's is because
you actually don't need to interact with real people ever.
Okay.
I donated $5. The closest one in terms of being very personal was maybe the Tana one, but even then it wasn't this personal. No, it wasn't. He did try to turn it into something interesting and funny. He doesn't even try.
Yeah, it's just typical. It's the same old shit.
Cheering on, but I wasn't going to cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do we forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn of Satan?
You only divide the family over it. I'm sorry. You can't take the high ground on this one either. Yeah.
Disgusting.
And
a piece of shit of a human.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. It's really something.
Unfortunately, they never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later? Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time and that there was some...
I mean, these are all good points, but it's beneath him. And what content cop was, I would love to talk to Colossal's Crazy because he used to worship the ground this guy walked on.
Amount of pressure or enthusiasm.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it on TBH. So
yeah. Oh, I'm dying to hear. There may be a special guest.
To get
I
down
hope you bring
with
back
that.
North City.
What it sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it. Huh. It's almost like that.
It's not really bad points. It's called fucking content cop, not like I'm breaking up with you publicly. You're a bad friend. Don't call me a fake friend cop. You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, you're right, Goss. They're not bad points. You know, it's ridiculous.
Is a fucking identical.
I would have been angry if Ethan made this video on me and he told me to fuck off. I don't have a problem with that, right? I don't have a problem with, like, don't throw me into this shit. But the thing is, if I had to guess, the reason he was acting this way,
in our defense, like, actually, Hila's not a big.
Because he knows. He knows.
In fairness to Ethan, he was responding.
He knows this motherfucker's for those terrorists. He knows he's an extremist. He knows. He probably felt he's an anti-Semite, you know, with the Sabra shit. He fucking used that stuff.
Situation to me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet, unlike Ian and Anissa. Who
yeah, and isn't that what all liberals do? It drives me crazy too. You do it, they do it. God, you can't even have fun online anymore because fucking people like you.
Yeah, it's the morality Olympics.
Can't make a fucking rape joke. Can't make a fucking like some over the top thing that's clearly not true. But then if you pretend to make it literal, it makes the person who told the joke a complete maniac. It's all like the lefties like you that do that shit. You were saying, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're good. I just said it's the morality Olympics like all the time. I was just new.
Jesus, the lefties try not to capitalize it. Impossible. Yeah.
Who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him. And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of...
That is a lousy thing to do. I gotta be honest with you. Like, he's not wrong about this.
Yeah, that's pretty shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's right about this.
Listen, you don't have to say anything about your shitty friends.
Ethan,
but
why are you so... these people are horrible people. You know that now. You learned it from his son. You learned your lesson. Clearly not, right? Why don't you just like, all right, you know what? He didn't stick up for me. Fucking out of here. I don't need them. I'm good. I got a nice staff. I got like fucking millions of dollars. My wife owns a fucking huge company. No, I need the dopamine. I need everybody to stick up for me. You know? Yeah. So they left out the part that you weren't even fucking like pro-Israel to start with. You just wanted a little empathy for the people that were murdered on October 7th. And he completely omitted that. Yeah, I get that. But why do you need it? You're a fucking grown-ass man. You're a 40-year-old man. Why do you need it? Your need for dopamine is fucking hurting your reputation. It's stupid. And I gotta be honest, not that bad because I think this is gonna flop. I personally think it is. We're not done yet, though. That might age like fine wine.
Shit, what a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treat?
I want to live in a world where we can fucking not pretend like this just didn't happen. You know what I mean? We can goof on the fucking Tourette's. That's the YouTube I want.
Fucking eyebrows.
I want to get rid of all this Israel politics, all this left wing. And I want to be able to comment on this shit. I want to go back to, is that girl retarded? I didn't know. That's what I want. That's the YouTube I want. Do you want that? You put a 1 in the chat if that's the YouTube you want too.
Treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing.
Well, I'll tell you something. If I worked for him and I felt the way I did about Israel, I wouldn't be fucking doing the same thing to me because I stand on something.
Like, it's crazy how...
But you know what? I tell you something. Here's something you might want to think about too. When you do something like that, is there anybody in your circle that can come to you privately without them getting shit canned and say, hey man, you're putting idubbbz in a bad spot here. This might backfire. If you don't have anybody like that, Ethan, then that whole crew isn't your friends. I have friends like that. Some of them are sitting right next to me. Fucking, I remember Nick DiOrio saved me from completely blasting my career in 2018 over Ethan Rao. I've had Verse come up to me and tell me I'm making mistakes and not doing the right thing. He even told me to fucking quit, and I'm taking him up on it. You know, like that's real friends. You don't even know what they are. Your real friends to you is like, that's why you're hard star killer. Real friend to you is just like, you know, agree with me. Check your own fucking. I'm sure idubbbz is the exact same way. I'm sure most of these YouTubers are the exact same way. But check your own fucking shit. You know?
Isn't that so funny though? How people are talking about they want real friends and real friendships, but they rate their friendship they rate their friendship based on agreeability.
Yeah.
How agreeable
they are. Yeah.
Instead of being honest.
Hey, look, there's a way to approach people. There's a way to say like, hey, you know, like this is something I'm feel strongly about that might not be the best way to go about it at SFTP. Like, Verse is not going to call me up and say you're a fucking faggot. You know, he's not going to say anything like that, right? But he's gonna calm me down and get me going, and then, you know, because he's kind of sound like a faggot, and I don't want you to do that. That's what he's gonna do. That's a real friend. You know, they don't have that. There's a bunch of people fucking. It's a hug box. Friendships aren't hug boxes. Friendships are people like fucking that are willing to almost risk their friendship. Because if I told Verse to fuck off, then I'm the fake friend. That's you. That's what you got to be doing.
Warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is...
You are. There is no doubt you're spineless. The opening to this show
that's
is
just
spineless.
true.
That is just right. There's no doubt in my mind that you're spineless. This entire video, no matter how good or bad it is a living, breathing, spineless hypocrisy based on your past statements. That is absolutely true. And I don't know.
Is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every...
I'll fucking stick my nose in this. I bet they barely ever push it. Look how Starkiller got his job. Does everybody remember how Starkiller got his job? I remember.
No, he was shitting on Augie.
And by shitting on Augie and fucking Nick. Who's your favorite guy in the world now?
I think Dan. I think Dan does offer some pushback.
No. Like, I got to be honest with you. That worked out a lot better than I ever thought it was. But let's face it, he got the job by sucking his balls. Yeah. I'll give you that. He's been there it's been like 5 years now. He does add something. He's quite good, but let's face it, he didn't get it based on talented. He got it by a giant blowjob. So it wouldn't fucking surprise me, even for a second, right, that everybody's afraid of him, and they don't know what he's going to do from minute to minute.
Every fucking week? It kind of seems like it, and that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times because, like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with...
Opinionated. He should have done it. He should have done it 3 years ago when he went after Keem. No, he shouldn't have. This would have been just as lame for different reasons. Just as lame. And it would have fucking still been a giant contradiction had he made the video that he made before.
You, if you defended me.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar...
So? I'm half Scottish and German.
I'm 100% Arab. It doesn't really change anything.
Going forward, I am now Scottish.
The Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide.
Yeah, my last name's Callahan. I descend from Glasgow. Now that I have this new information, maybe a long time ago they moved to Glasgow, and my family was the founder of Celtic FC.
On the part of the Lebanese, they received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel.
Oh, really? Is she familiar with the fucking shit?
How is she familiar? She lives in fucking LA. How is she fucking familiar?
In Israel, and let me tell you something. Let me use my. It's time to use my Tulkan Muslim friend. Is the propaganda on both sides?
Yes,
of course it is.
Yeah,
by the way, do you live in the Middle East?
A photo of Anissa. Yes, I do right now.
Does your sister dress like fucking when she's home? Does she dress like Anissa?
No.
Here's the thing I noticed when you come.
She has a pride.
If you guys come to Europe, especially if you go to Ireland or something like that, and maybe you're Irish defending somebody, you have a name like I do, Callahan. Nothing, or you have a German name. Maybe your name is fucking Schmitz or something like that. There is nothing the Europeans hate more when you say you're German American or Irish American or anything. Even though it's a reality. I know. I've seen the communities, Italian American communities. Yeah, I know it's a reality. They don't respect that. They don't. You're American to them. So, could you imagine the Middle East, where there's a lot more poverty, a lot more fucked up shit, and Anissa dressing the way she is, acting the way she does, talking about sex the way she does, right? Is like, I'm Lebanese. Like, get the fuck out of here. No, you're not. You're American. God.
Now, out of all the times to be like, please defend me. No, we're not going to fucking...
Yeah,
it's fucking retarded, dude.
You imagine
you have like no skin in the game. You have no skin.
Exactly.
In the game,
exactly. You have no skin in the game.
Why do you care?
It's almost like, why do you care? I wish, like, wait a minute, but I'm Lebanese too. No, I wish I was American. You could be Lebanese all you like. How do you like that? That's what it probably would be.
Is that pork you're eating right now? Huh? Nice tattoos, Anissa.
Ruby was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that one?
Like just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people. We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say.
Yeah, but you just didn't follow them, so you're kind of contradicting yourself. You fucking embrace them, and you embrace their anti-Semitism with the Sabra meme. So it's more than following. Like, that's the thing. Like, I can completely agree with everything he's saying, putting his employees in a bad position, putting them in a bad position. They're not fucking obligated to fucking stick up for him under these circumstances. I hate when people do that. Like, you must speak up. Out. Silence is violence, right? I hate that shit. But here's the thing. You platformed their fucking anti-Semitism. You platformed their fucking rubbing nosing with terrorists, with communists. That's what you did. So all this stuff like, hey, man, I'm not obligated to do this. But at the same time, you're sucking terrorist cock. You're sucking anti-Semite cock. You can't have it both ways. You can't.
And by the way, I think it's like most of fucking Lebanon is getting fucked to hell by Iranian-backed terrorists right now.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're fucking pick a side.
First of all, it's not even fucking a side. They're not pro fucking Arab. They're not pro Palestinian.
No,
they're
just anti-Jew.
Anti-Jew, pro-progressive, right? Some of them probably aren't even anti-Jew. It's just whatever gets them there, because those same progressives will use the Holocaust as a shield in a conversation every chance they got. I've seen that before.
And if you say anything negative about them, they'll call you a Nazi.
A Nazi. So it's like whatever works. They always do the same thing. They have shields on all front. They could fucking use Jews as a shield, and they could use fucking Palestinians kids. That's who they are. That's why they're phonies.
Is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So
the problem.
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people,
I like the Zionists do the exact same thing. John, no shit. What did we just say? I just had the Arab guy come on and say both sides engage in the fucking propaganda. But you can't sit there and say you're above it, John, when you're doing the same shit as the Zionist. And by the way, I gotta be honest with you, I list a lot of respect for you. Anybody who uses that word goes like 3 levels down on my word, on my like the Zionist. Oh God.
And have no spine and not stand up for another girl. That's
I guess there's no way to think that Jews should be able to live in peace without being a Zionist. Get the fuck out of here.
Stood up for you. Enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know.
Yeah. Which I'll show. Denims is actually participating in this whole child protection.
This is a huge mistake on his part to fucking Nick's friends with people I can't stand. This is a huge mistake, and this is why I don't speak out.
Service lie.
Yeah,
which I'll
and if
show
you're
you guys
friends with them,
then
put
you're Nick in a horrible fucking situation. I put Augie in a horrible situation. I keep my mouth shut and I bitch to somebody else. What are you gonna do? I'd rather have friends than not have friends.
Saying what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit that's clearly looking out for them.
I use the word Zionists because that's what they call themselves. All right, fine. But if you're using it unironically, fuck off, John.
Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, where we are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People
see, everything he's saying here is around the money. But they embrace the fucking...
Tommy.
What? Go ahead.
The problem here is that all of this is about the CPS call, not Israel and Palestine.
Holy shit.
The CPS call? Yeah, well, that's
yes.
Out of context.
That's all they were asking.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that. All right.
Calling for
I understand that, but it still wasn't a good move for. You're right. It's still not a good move for Ethan. Here's the move Ethan makes in that situation, because it kind of exposes him in some ways, because he's not making 100% bad points. You're still putting them in a bad position. Here's what you do in a situation. Oh, they're okay with they're okay with being friends with these people, right? Look, I'm sure Ian is an anti-Semite. I'm sure he's fucking supporting all the terrorists, the whole fucking nine, and he just wanted to keep it quiet, right? And then Ethan said what he said, and he says, well, that gives me permission to show everybody who I am. I can take the mask right off fucking now. The right thing to do is just cut them out of your life. Not make this move. Because now you kind of now everybody looks like shit. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Hey, listen, I like all you guys. If something like this, I would totally stick up for you guys, right? But that's me. All right. But and I got to be honest with you, I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much. Most people won't. That's just me. That's me. Most people won't. Most people the only way they'll stick up for you is if there's something in it for them. People won't fucking do that. Remember all the shit I took when I told when I remember I took shit in house too when I stuck up for Kraut. And I just said, look, I'm staying out of this. And there was demands for me to condemn him. I don't know how many times, not even just Kraut, how many, like you're a pedo if you don't condemn this person, or you agree with some kind of heinous act unless you condemn this person. Sometimes to be a good friend, you got to fucking deal with that. You have to. But here's the thing. You take note of it. They're not my real friends, and you move on. What's the alternative? Do this and then... Like, what did Ian accomplish by, he probably wanted to make a content cop on him for months. What did Ethan accomplish by poking the bear? Nothing. I mean, the damage might not be that far. But tell me, Agent, what did he accomplish by poking the bear?
I agree with you. I mean, he really doesn't accomplish anything. But at the same time, I mean, you've been to their house. You know that they're not
horrible
parents,
people, and you don't have to tell the world they're horrible people. That's my point. Yes, I agree with everything you're about to say. They're lousy fucking people. For all the reasons that Ethan is right, or Ian is right, idubbbz, it's the same fucking reasons that they are. They're all fucking terrible. You should be putting them in that position, and you should stick up for fucking your friends when your friends... Like a real person would be like a real good friend would be like, look, I saw with Hassan and them, and I know me and my wife are friends with them and stuff, and I don't want this to come out in the public, but I'm going to tell you something. What they said was fucked up, and we're kind of drifting away from them. We just don't want to make it a public thing. Ethan, do me a favor. Keep my name out of your mouth and my wife's name out of your mouth when you're doing this, because it puts us in a really bad spot, and we're just going to drift away from them. Yeah, that's what a good friend would do. Or an even better friend, man, fuck those goddamn commie terrorist-loving scumbags. Yeah, that's true. But you can't sit there and feel entitled to somebody to stick up for you. It just ends up in this situation like this.
People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know. I think they're both probably guilty of...
Or revenge.
Saying things that they don't mean for... internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
I just don't see how.
What's the difference then? Just because they're nasty to you?
How you can be my friend and also be friends with
No.
someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking... You're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are...
I'm sorry, man. I can't buy... Like, he's not wrong about anything he's saying. Until you see this shit right here with the fucking cyber shit. It's a fucking bigoted, hateful fucking meme about Jews. Does he have cyber in his hand there?
No, that's Zin's.
That's
It's
Zin's?
Zin, yeah. That's like a
Zin-
nicotine patch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're
I'm
pretty
sorry.
good.
I'm sorry. Where did I leave off? I forgot. Where was I?
About the 20-minute mark.
You actually don't need to interact with real people ever.
Teddy donated $5. He should have called it Content Walmart Security Guard.
What? Whatever. Jesus Christ.
It's been performed exquisitely, harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
Like people like Anissa are the perfect example.
I like how
You jumped a bit ahead, but go to about 22 minutes. Like
22 was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, "Oh, he doesn't work with us anymore."
Then
but that was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say for your friends, though?
You can't make people fucking speak out for you.
One of the reasons...
And you might have to come to the conclusion that they're not really good people.
Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nice?
So what was the solution to that? To make a bigger mess? A content cop clears this up, straightens the line? Get the fuck out of here. Like his whole narrative is like, I don't want things getting out of control and crazy. My solution is I'll make a content cop. One of the most respected series in YouTube history. One of the most, like, it's considered the pinnacle of commentary. And what is commentary other than fucked up drama? Like that was the solution. Like he's portraying himself as like the calm, measured person, but he made a content cop. The whole thing is a giant, like, hypocrisy. It's wild.
Nicer and more...
yes, was toothpaste. Was.
Supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila. Sure. Like, yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this...
Somebody look, if we could ever get Anissa Joma. I don't think he ever said it, but I think Anissa Joma said silence is violence.
Relationship until you figure.
By the way, I agree with him. Sometimes silence is there's some things out there that you have to do. Sometimes you got to be silent, and there's a multitude of reasons. And Hila and Ethan didn't respect that, for sure.
Your shit out, and then maybe we can find a moment in time. I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier.
You made a content cop, but now you're trying to bring it down, like de-escalate? Are you fucking kidding me? Am I crazy here? Am I alone in this world? Oh my God. You made a content cop and you want to de-escalate.
To broach. I don't think we need to do it right now. But you've insisted. You've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting.
You forced his hand. You forced his hand into hypocrisy.
Me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000.
Yeah, sure.
By the way, Ethan was responding to a segment that idubbbz and Anissa did on their podcast. That's okay. Ethan's total fucking response.
Yeah, but you can't.
Where they talked about the whole Ethan stuff.
I don't know
about the whole CBS stuff.
Maybe Ethan wanted to fucking. Yeah. That they responded to them not taking a stance on it. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, okay, but they're not obligated to. And silence.
Yeah, but like, why is he not going to bring that up? It just sounds like he's just randomly shitting on them.
Because he's a partisan moron, and that probably believes in that stuff to begin with. He's a partisan moron. He's not that bright. He thinks by going on with these. That's the one thing about progressivism, and in some case liberalism. It gives you a collar, and he's got one, or he thinks he does.
1,000 views a week.
Like gives you a pass to fucking bullshit your way through this entire shitty fucking video.
Now, welcome. We've knighted you. You know, I'm not the dumbass.
Sure, I lied.
I'm not the
but
dumbass.
It's for your benefit.
It's not the dumbass I used to be. Yeah. Well, all the details and shit. I'm sure Nick is going to be tearing this shit apart.
I prefer to not to do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
Like they say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
He knew how they felt about him, and they couldn't keep it to themselves. He knew how they felt about them. I bet when he made that fucking video, idubbbz is like, now I can finally do it because I hate this fucking Jew.
She
thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself.
Let me ask you something. Is he crying about getting backstabbed? I mean, it's a backstab, but is he crying about it on his channel? I'd love to know.
What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? Like, this is nasty.
I thought you were above it. You made an entire video about being above this. Yes, I guess they could reasonably think. I thought you reached a new level of maturity. I miss the old idubbbz. This is what makes this completely hypocritical, that video.
He had such a fair response.
About 10 minutes into the video right now. So
he's only 10 minutes. He's probably going berserk.
To what you guys were going through.
We started later too.
We don't support harassment. It's a bad thing, but we
don't support harassment. It's a bad thing when you do it.
Happens, and you're perpetuating.
Yeah, you literally like went up to fucking Hannah Mongo and called her the N-word to her fucking face.
Well, I mean, he's just in fairness,
or N-word F-slur.
He's distanced himself from all that. In fairness, but it's just like it's okay when we do it. That's what's going on here.
And this lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level.
Why is this harassment?
What are you wrong about?
Like what
really wrong?
All, none of this is harassment. It's just ad hominem fucking attacks. That's all they are. It's not harassment. It's harsh criticism, and maybe it's not very good, but it's not harassment. Give me a break.
Level. Have you ever?
So you want the harassment to stop on both ends, so you throw content cop in the middle of it, which is only going to create more of what you're speaking out against now?
I can't wait for Ethan to fucking put out all the slurs that idubbbz said. He deletes this video and then goes on a years-long apology tour.
I'll stick up for idubbbz if that's the case. That's fake as fuck too, because he was fine with it when he was doing it back in the day. I'll stick up for idubbbz in that fucking scenario.
I'm just saying, I think it'd be funny if that's what he did.
I guess he doesn't give a shit. He's just going to say, and all his fucking. Look, one thing I've learned about lefty, it doesn't matter how racist or if once you got in the church, once you get your collar, right, your past is erased. So I don't like. What do you think? Like all the kook lefties that follow him are like, oh, Ian's a hypocrite. No, they're not. Look, they'll fight for him. Let me tell you something. You know who Dennis Bird was? Was that his name? And this wasn't even that long ago. It's like this last 20 years. Dennis. He died in 2008. BYRD. What is that his name? Dennis Bird, football player. Congressman Bird. Is that his name? Robert Byrd. Is it Robert Byrd? Yeah, that's him. Let's see. Where's he from? West Virginia. Okay. He's a Democrat, member of the House of Representatives.
Ku Klux Klan.
And the Ku Klux Klan, exactly. So don't. What do you think? What do you think they're gonna like? I know how these people roll. What do you think they're gonna do? Do you think they're gonna like? Wow, he's a hypocrite agent. They'll take a Klansman in. They'll take a fucking Klansman in. They'll have.
No, I'm not saying.
I've seen Spike Lee stick up for this motherfucker because he was a Democrat.
That Hassan or any of them will turn on him. I'm saying that idubbbz will get so embarrassed he just deletes the video because he that's the way that idubbbz is. He apologized for all these content cops. Here he is making this one, and then Ethan's just gonna go. Here's you saying all these slurs.
I think honestly, I think this video is a wash. It hit the wall.
Ever been in a comment section and found
the pro-Palestine, the fucking Hassan's audience? They're just gonna fucking clap like seals to this fucking video. That's the fucking target audience.
I want to point out something. Here. This is 2010. You know who's president in 2010 when Mr. Byrd passed away? Yeah, exactly. No wonder he died.
Someone to argue with, it doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never...
Is he really using the touch grass argument? Like, is there, like, you just get out more?
Be crossed, even by, like, the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have...
I'd buy a Bobby doll if you had a dress on. I think I'd do that.
Ramifications.
Yeah, Tommy, I gotta dip out.
All right, thanks, Kai. Take care.
Yeah. I sent you on the new idubbbz single that he released.
Okay.
It's here in your
Ethan and Hina, I am a cack. And he said, told me you're bad, so I am running amok. I sacked off Hassan, Jan Kirkmat, but passed on Frogan Dannen, cause their pussy stinks.
It's close to home.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Jeannie?
Genocide?
Honestly,
Not
I
my
like
problem.
it more than fuck
If
you.
anything, the Israelis helped the LGBTQ issue in Palestine. Now the rooftops are at street level. And the kids, they're on a strict regimen where the only thing that touches their lips is the roof of their former home.
Jeannie, what's the matter with you? Jeannie,
you're pro-Palestine, Jeannie.
What's the matter with you?
You're gonna get Jeannie deported.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What do you mean? They'll make her a fucking part of the royal family the way things go over in England. You know,
of how I conduct myself in terms of these fair weather friends who are, you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something.
Welcome to fucking YouTube, fuckface, and you're the same way.
Out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic because you're making it obvious how fucking petty you are too. I mean, he doesn't like... He doesn't get the big picture, does he? You know,
that's what's so crazy.
Yeah.
They're on their like own shitty podcast talking about like their emotions. Like that's so fucking gay. And then you make a series and then use your series to do the same thing. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
If anything, their platform for the shitty podcast fits more of like the emotional ranting than this fucking video. Like, I don't understand.
Genetic Gloves Griffin, Tommy Sports Genocide. No, that's cheating. I'm sorry.
God damn.
Ground.
Okay,
it's
you know,
horrible.
If I'm down.
What?
If Alt's in for it, I'm down. So there you go.
Yeah, dude, I'm down with genocide. Let's go.
It's not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach us to say like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack. Now,
and you made content of the response. You're not above it.
Doing a drama podcast.
I have no problem with him responding with this. Let's be real. I have a problem seeming like he's above responding while he's responding. That's the most amazing thing
attack
about
video.
Yeah, attack video. Look, you shouldn't attack people. You shouldn't have. By the way, here's content.
He's dancing over his grave.
And he doesn't see it. Like, he watched this. He edited this. Like, oh my God.
in fairness, I am attacking back, but
it dawned. It got in there. It got in there, but
it finally.
But
I feel very insulted and I feel defensive.
So do they.
Who fucking cares?
So do they. It's okay if you hurt their feelings. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Like Ethan's supposed to fucking suck it up, and now you're saying like the reason like you didn't suck it, but not you. I don't have to suck it up. You got to suck it up.
And I feel
like
they go
CPS on your kids. Suck it up, asshole.
This thing when you get the collar, your feelings matter.
A lot of people who have problems with you, and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be
Harassment. He literally sounds like one of the feminists from like 2014.
Racist. Everybody's anti-racist. Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves.
What are you telling? What are you trying to say? Our liberals are kind of fake? By the way, I agree with it.
And under scrutiny to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much?
Sorry.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're not above it either. Everybody is above the thing they're doing. It is really spectacular to watch. Yeah, you do. There you do.
Actually care. If you're, isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever. And
why would that be?
Oh, I wonder why.
Completely.
Yeah, I don't know why, man.
Minority totem pole.
I don't know. Yeah, well, he deserves it.
How that happened?
Hey, listen.
I know what'll ease their minds. Content Cop H3.
Yeah, Content Cop Israel. Here we go.
There's a Jewish slur in the first 30 seconds of the video.
John Sigma, I don't do drama. Woman married to the largest drama channels on YouTube. Bingo. Nobody does drama. Nobody oh God, it's so funny.
Completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly.
They're not hurt. They're angry. They're angry all those people were fucking slaughtered. They're angry that this is like they're saying there's a certain amount of justification for it, and then when people fight back, that there's no justification for that. You know, kind of like your fucking video.
How they're angry that they got CPS called to their house.
Yeah, I know.
By these people.
Yeah. You know, I just don't. I have such a. You've been around me too long, Agent. Fucking, I have such a low opinion of YouTubers.
For something that doesn't even apply to us, it's like me making this video is the standing up for something, and it's saying fuck you. You guys are being.
It's not standing up for anything. That's just fuck you.
Kissing the ring.
That's
bad.
This is
I don't
what the
think
video is.
Yeah, you could have made that but you kissed the ring at the same time. Exactly. Then you ran to all his enemies.
Yeah.
Some of them are legitimate. Like, have you ever thought for a minute, like maybe not all those people, because I don't know every one of their stories, but maybe one of them is an anti-Semite? I mean, the one that
Son, nod.
One of them is not like
wink,
actually
wink.
Hateful. Like, forget Hassan. He's probably actually out of like what's her face, Frogan. Out of all those fucking people,
fuck me, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
She's like, Yeah, I mean, like you could leave the other guy. Maybe those guys are really, they're just far left or what have you. Maybe not like the worst people on earth. But Frogan, for real? She's wished death. She's rejoiced over American soldiers, the country that she sits in, being damaged by war. I mean, like, and I don't give a fuck. It's me fucking crying about it. I'm just pointing it out, right? I'm not trying to say, I'm a soldier.
She lives in LA. I just want to point this out. She lives in LA.
Yeah. And I can't say that's where you live, but yeah, she lives all with the comfort of being in LA. Yeah.
I live closer, and this still does not affect me.
You know, I'm actually legitimately surprised you put Frogan in, because you could probably make an argument that the other ones, I don't personally believe it, but you could probably make a stronger argument the other ones aren't anti-Semitic. They're just on a different side. Frogan, you can't. You cannot with Frogan.
You're bad people, but you're being bad. You're behaving poorly.
So are you.
You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights.
So are you.
You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything?
Wasn't this whole fucking this fag fest video that he made a couple years ago about what he didn't really put anything good into the world? But this is good? Or is this just what he said before? Like, it's just a fuck you. You said fuck you, I said fuck you back. By the way, I'm okay with that. But wasn't, like, if you go to this ridiculous shit right here, I want the old idubbbz, he literally goes on and on about being above that.
Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
Marching with the black students and...
I mean, why is it inspiring?
I mean, I think it is a terrible analogy. There's no doubt about it. But isn't he the one that sold himself as somebody that just is above just throwing YouTube insults for stupid reason, that he actually stands for and believes in something? And then Ethan kind of pointed out at the moment that you have to stand on something, you didn't. I mean, that's a factual thing too. There's two things going on. A, Ethan's right. You had a chance to stand up for your friend and you fucking failed. In fact, you just made a video saying we weren't really your friends to begin with, or that close of friends, right? And then Ethan, that was Ian, excuse me. In Ethan's case, he's like, you're obligated. I am entitled to your defense. I mean, it's just the people that don't know what the fuck's out of here. Like, none of these people touch grass. How about that? It's so bizarre.
Why is it inspiring?
Well, and it's the same thing, to bring it back.
I know I'm repeating myself, but I don't know what else to say. Like, the hypocrisy, it's literally every minute in this video.
This on just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza until I found out it's dangerous. He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
It's been performed exquisitely, harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year,
criticism is harassment to him now. He's really getting deep.
Here, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
I guess, am I harassing Ethan right now? Oh, maybe if I had more people in here.
I mean, by their logic.
Yeah, by their logic, I'm harassing it, but maybe not because I don't have enough subs or
against your rape right now. Yeah.
And that whole thing, I made a bunch of criticisms. I mean, it's unbelievable. He doesn't see it.
Like, people like Anissa are the perfect example because she's friends with these people. She's friends with denims. Denims is streaming this story about our kid.
I'll show that, yeah.
Getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry, I'll accept this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people's shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling you guys wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time. Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
She could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for saying that.
But that would be commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks for...
This all I just heard is, I'm insecure about my own adulthood because my entire reputation... Yeah. It did because my entire fucking body of work is basically adolescence. And by the way, mine is. By the way, mine is too. I started a lot later than him, so I'm just I'm okay with it. He's not. It speaks to idubbbz's ego. Like I am above this all. Why he does it
for itself?
And I got to be honest with you. I'm dying to see. I just want to see this. Is he on H3 Live? I just want to see his face.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but the difference to me there is
again.
Right here.
Ethan never called for the swatting of what's his name?
No, but you're getting into who does things worse, right? I'm sorry, Ethan.
I guess.
Yeah, you're getting into the fucking that's the victim Olympics. I'm not getting into that. One second.
Is the surf
Damn you Jews! But just like we don't blame Israelis for being born somewhere, we don't blame
or anyone for that matter. We don't choose that. That's
we
true.
don't choose where we're born. We don't.
Or how we look. I blame Mike. I didn't choose to be blessed with this unbelievable hair.
What is he gonna do? All right, it's not what I couldn't get any kind of read from that. So what is the part 2 gonna be? Look, you didn't learn your lesson. You kept streaming anyway. I mean, even though they're streamers.
Saying, hey, their house is claimed. They're, they're actually good people. That's gonna get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the prompt is.
No, I just invited the people into my house to fucking dunk on you that said all those things and platformed all that. So how dare you call me a fake friend? What the fuck? I mean, it's one thing if they weren't in the video, if Hassan wasn't in the video, and he does this, he's on much stronger ground. But he's trying to stay neutral while also licking their ass. It's bizarre to me.
No one would care. The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out. I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's difficult and standing by your principles. That's the whole.
Oh, wow. Samuel. I was skipping through random parts of H3 content.
Yeah, I want to stay bed.
Into tears after over being a couple online, seeing your partner get hate. But it's okay when we do it. By the way, I think it's okay when anybody does it. I'm not taking any side on this. I think that the whole you're harassing, I'm harassing, everybody's harassing is just utter bullshit, and it's just trying to silence people from speaking out.
It's just a trap.
Yeah, it's all it is.
Yeah.
But boy.
Whole point. That's what makes standing by your principles admirable. Is that?
Now, how about this, man? And you probably knew it. He has no principles, or the principles are more aligned with Hassan. And I think at some level he probably knew that.
It's not always easy.
I mean, it's one of those things where he knew, but he didn't know. You know what I mean? He didn't know, but he kind of knew.
Why are you saying that I'm not standing up for my principles when you don't even know what they are? I get, we're a little bit past directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my principles. Now we're going to talk.
But he won't say them. So H3's right. He's a fucking coward.
Spineless.
Yeah, so he's spineless. So he's right. I'm acting with my principles. I just fucking aired the anti-Semites. I platformed them. That's my principles. You know, but he's trying to project this. He's trying to project this thing and by the way, he's not wrong. You took my neutrality away from me, and that's not right. And by the way, it isn't. But at the same time, he platformed those people. It's just I can't believe you can't see it.
Talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. Oh, this is not a good start. Love of the H3 podcast. You are following Frogan, so that means that you are anti-Ethan. Sam, Morg Pie, friend of the show.
I think it's okay if you're supporting Frogan. Yeah, I follow. Yeah, I follow people that are wacky.
Olivia, Ian, daily dose of internet.
Is this funny?
Is anti-Ethan? Jesus, this is fucked up. Pokimane, comment etiquette. Oh shit, Asmongold's in here? Asmongold follows Frogan? No, Asmon. That means you're anti-Ethan. That's fucked up.
Endorsement, though.
But in fairness to Ethan on this, is he tight with Asmon? See, it's obvious that because
I think you could go a step further.
Yeah.
And just say like they follow her to make sure that they know like the news.
Yeah, we don't know that.
That's a speculation, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's still one of those you could go into making.
No, I don't like this shit. Like you follow somebody. I agree with the principle of what he's trying to project, but Ethan's putting out there that we were friends, we were tight, and idubbbz comes out and says, "Well, no, we're just internet friends." Seems kind of lame to me.
We're going to want to avoid these creators at the top of the list, but one tier below them are the creators who associate with them. They're essentially endorsing all of their statements. You got me, you got Anissa, I think Hassan's in there. You'd think that Hassan would be on the top of the BDS list, but that's not the case. Hassan provides additional value for people. Ethan can turn a blind eye to people collaborating with Hassan because that's what he did. You got to be the lowest of the low to be associating.
Is having somebody in your podcast a collaboration to talk? Is it truly a collab? Maybe in the strictest sense. I think of a collab as somebody working on something creative together. I don't think I ever collabed with James Marriott. He just came on and I interviewed him.
Well, now you have.
Yeah.
With the Frogans and the Denims of the world. To associate with Hassan, that just makes sense because he's famous and he's got a massive fan base. Also, Ethan still follows Hassan on Instagram.
The elephant in the room, it's not that funny, and it's not like this hasn't been done before.
So Hassan is...
We're halfway through the video. We haven't laughed once.
We haven't barely laughed.
In his
now, we are a little biased, though, in fairness, there. But no, I'd laugh if it was. Well, we are biased to some extent, a little more towards Ethan, just people. But we also pointed out where Ethan's ridiculous. And then we've also pointed out like how this guy, I mean, he doesn't even seem to realize like the entire video itself is a walking hypocrisy, much less the things that he says about harassment while he engages in what he calls harassment, not what I call harassment.
And that's showing up right up on Anissa's.
Quack is right. It's just soy.
An idubbbz feed.
It's important to remember that this is a living document.
Also, I don't feel like, and this might be my bias, I don't know. Like when I watch Leafy, when I watch all the other ones, and I'm like, we fucking got you. I don't got a vibe like that. I just like, okay, yeah, you're right. He's kind of a hypocrite there. So are you. You're doing the same shit. That's as close as I've got to. That's fucking funny.
Document, and people can be removed or put onto it depending on how Ethan's feeling that day. You have this other tier of creators that exist below Hassan but are still anti-Ethan. But Ethan really doesn't want to bring your attention to these ones because it's kind of unpopular, you know? A lot of them are famous. It's no cool.
Oh, Pew Vaughn is great. He had fucking Trump on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had like a bunch of other fucking people.
There's a difference between
comedian. It's like a different community.
There's a difference between an interview. There's a difference between an interview and a collab. You know?
Yeah, fucking Bernie on. Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking different.
I don't think Theo. I think Theo Vaughn even put out a statement saying he wouldn't have Hassan back on, but I could be wrong. I could be thinking of someone else.
Go check that out. But even if he did, even if he didn't, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I've said before, I would interview Adolf motherfucking Hitler. I'd interview a serial killer pedophile if I thought it was interesting. I mean, I don't get this. So what he's trying to say, he hasn't attacked these guys because they're popular and they might get backlash. So he's being a pussy and not principled. But these guys, that's what's his face from Cumtown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fucking Staj or whatever his name is.
Stavros. Stavros.
Yeah, he's funny. Fucking, that guy's fucking funny as fuck.
Oh, he's great.
Dude, Stavros. Dude, I told you about it, right? They got together. He had Nick and the Jew boy on his podcast, and it was like a new episode of Cumtown. It was so awesome. Fucking funny.
I listened to the whole thing, playing arcades. It was great.
I was fucking cracking up. They fucking shit on Adam the whole time.
I don't know why those guys quit. It was the funniest shit ever. But Stav, I always thought he was politically neutral.
Coincidence that Ethan stays silent when these powerful, popular men are supporting Hassan? It's because Ethan is a coward. He's a...
I don't know. I think it's a false equivalency because there's just fucking podcasts in it. It's a false equivalency. I do. And Ethan has attacked Joe Rogan stupidly, I might add. Was he not a pussy then, but he's a pussy now?
A bitch-made coward. I think Ethan has an unreasonable amount of respect for these comedians because they have power, they're quick, and I think he knows that they don't fuck with his ideology. But he's gonna keep that to himself.
Really? How do you know that? I don't know that.
Ethan's attacked Elon. Elon now is like one of the fucking
let me turn
richest
this
men.
on too. Like let's say we find out Theo's pro-Israel. Is he like a bitch and now did this? I mean,
because the last
he's assuming that all these guys are like pro-Palestine. I mean, I don't know that. Maybe they are. I don't know. If I put my money, Staub probably is, right? They're pretty liberal, come town crowd, right?
Yeah, they're liberal. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to discover.
Is a little bit in the middle. I'd
Yeah,
say.
he's somewhere in the middle. Pro-Trump guy.
Yeah.
Had Trump on. I don't know, just because you're pro-Trump doesn't mean you're pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Is that people that he respects?
I think even Theo is like more so like you, where he's just willing to talk to anybody.
Yeah. The Theo, I always got
like
Theo
Trump.
Talk to anybody.
I fucking love Theo.
He wants like a guy. The impression I get from Theo is there's something funny everywhere with everyone, regardless of who they are, and something lightheartedly funny. And I always thought that that's what Theo does. You know, I'm not like I don't listen to any of these guys' podcasts all that much.
And looks up to, they don't fuck with him.
Bill Burr came on. It was like the worst fucking show. It was just
Bill Burr was a dick to him.
Horrible. That was like my lowest moment on podcast history. We could talk about Bill Burr, ruined my life. Bill Burr made Ethan go on Lexapro. I was prescribed it and it was in my bedside. And then it was the Bill Burr episode that made me finally start.
When Stavros goes on Hassan's stream and he mocks.
Is he leaving out that Bill came back on?
Yeah, he came back on and they even talked about it a little bit, didn't he? Like he made the joke about talking about his kids again. He's like, if you want to ask my kids this time, I'm good.
Okay, buddy.
So the kind
some shit
not,
like that,
not
right?
necessarily apologizing, but acknowledging they got off on the wrong foot. By the way, if you don't know about this situation, this is back before H3 went like nuts, and I thought he was kind of making. I think this is his new way to take shit out of context, right? Like saying, "Oh, you got with the Lexapro thing here." Bill went on the show. It's almost right off the gate, and Ethan, I think, innocently asked him, "Was like, I heard you had a baby. How's that going?" And Bill was like, "Where do you fucking get off? Why do you get off asking me that shit? Right? Where do you get off asking me that shit? That is not an unreasonable conversation for fucking adults to have. Hey, how's your children? How's it working out? How are you enjoying parenthood? That is not unreasonable." And he freaked the fuck out. Here's another thing. Checked in with fucking Opie this week. He was talking about how when Bill Burr used to go on Opie and Anthony back when I was in New York area pretty regularly, and he was really funny. He was really great. Anthony Kubian said it was always a project to have Bill on because everything had to go his way. Otherwise, he freaked the fuck out. And we saw it on H3. I think H3 is only talking about, not that he got totally owned by Bill, that it just went fucking south. And then Bill went back on and then it went well. But he's trying to portray it as you don't have the balls to put somebody that's anti-Palestine on your podcast. That's how he's like mixing and matching it. Very much. This smells very Froggy Fresh to me.
It's very dishonest. Just
yeah,
fucking
really,
very
yeah,
dishonest.
It's very Froggy Fresh to me. Yeah.
Your content nuke.
I actually saw a really interesting video about you, man, and I don't know that I'm even comfortable being.
What?
Remember how I talked about if he goes about this like he did with Froggy and he stretches the truth and doesn't use all the facts like he normally does, he's fucked. It's literally what he's doing.
Yeah, it's really what he's doing. No, I think this is going to be. Like, I'm gonna change my position on that a little. I think this is going to end up sort of like what I said if he did it on a conservative commentator, just kind of like just split down lines. And well, this is going to split down Israel-Palestine lines. It's a nowhere. It doesn't move the needle. I don't think. We'll talk about it for a couple of days. I'll probably try to squeeze as much money out of this as possible, and then it goes into the ether. And then I think over time, when people do, You know, do you remember Content Cop, how amazing it was? Let me give you the history. Oh, and the last one. Yeah, that's kind of the Last Jedi. Yeah, there was that one. Or my other prediction is that he starts making these more often. And they just completely get watered down. And they're no longer events. You know, there's like, all right, there's another one. I don't think the next one's going to be his big event, if there is one.
Here anymore.
Oh no.
It really kind of shed light on you in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of like have leftist politics and stuff like that. And I actually feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually just here to let you know this is the last time I'm ever coming.
You don't fire back because you're coping. So you're just going to tuck your tail between your legs and never mention on your podcast that mentions everything. You're bringing up
actually a better example, to be honest with you.
Some fucking connection I have on.
But let me ask you something. Maybe it's not, because how close are Stav and the H3 family?
I could swear like Stav was like on Ethan a few times. I could swear he was.
Stav was on Ethan. Was he?
I could swear he was.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're close. Like
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, like
yeah,
not
but
at all. Yeah.
See, that's
I see one instance.
One instance. What does that mean?
And that was probably when Stav, because Stav was going on everything promoting a special, so he's probably in one of those.
Yeah.
How much?
2 years ago.
Because Stav went on Rogan and everything too. So and then he's not friends with fucking Rogan. You know what I mean?
True.
He's just doing the.
I think
on Twitter, someone mocks you on a stream, you're not touching it. Fuck you, you're a coward. It's just his job. It's just what he does for his job. You know, he doesn't mean it. We're actually good friends. You know,
well, no, that's a fucking straw man. He didn't say that, did he? Yeah.
He makes fun of everyone. It's not just me, right?
That's the second time that he's been on.
That's a straw man right there. That's like he set up the straw man. In fact, he set up his own straw man.
Also, I can't forget about Matt Lieb. Matt Lieb is in this like middle tier. His valuable association is Rhett and Link. So Rhett and Link, conveniently, are also in this category of popular and powerful men who Ethan does not want to burn bridges with. Although he's sniffing around.
This guy, Matt Lieb, he works for Good Mythical Morning. Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, who apparently is a producer for Good Mythical Morning. Well, this guy works for Good Mythical Morning, acting like he's wholesome, and he's bringing on somebody.
You know what, though? One thing that I think idubbbz has exposed, I don't know whether he meant to or not, I think it's fair to say that he's an activist. Like, there's no comedy here. It's one of the things complaints we made about Ethan before. We kind of stuck up for him when he had a fucking few good takes here and there. He is an activist podcast. It is fucking boring. I never listen to his shit anymore. It's just activism. Look, it's activism that I agree with personally, but I never watch it. So I don't know if idubbbz meant to point that out, but I mean, I think it comes down to, you know, like how unfun YouTube is and how everything has to be politics under all circumstances. Like, you can't have the Tourette's joke anymore. We got to pretend that he's not doing Tourette's. We got to pretend she's not retarded. You know?
Somebody that wants to kill my wife or in a video game. And I think he should be fired, frankly. And I hope he is fired. He's pathetic. And he interviewed basically a terrorist.
I think Ethan only respects power right now, which is one of the reasons.
Well, that's fucking funny.
Since I made this video in the first place, is because he thinks I'm weak. He thinks a lot of these other creators that he's gone out of his way.
I think you're going to find out you're a lot weaker than you thought you were. Because your power, look, oh God, I wish somebody would send this. Your power came from the fact that you had a fan base that was diverse. Now you've told one section to fuck and you don't like them, they're beneath you. So you're going to see your power not all that powerful anymore. And then I'm sure you're going to say, well, I haven't made one in like 8 years, so whatever. The reason you had power, the reason like he might see that you're weak, I think most of the internet does, by the way. I mean, most of the internet said this is going to have the fucking juice because he waited too long. I mean, let's face it. Like, why didn't you make a content cop? Because you thought you were fucking above it. But as soon as somebody pisses you off, then you go out and make one. You know, no principles.
To attack. He thinks that they're weak, and he thinks they're a target that he can bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits.
Jesus Christ, look at the comment on here. Look at this comment. Does this not sum it up? Imagine explaining this to someone in 2016 who just watched a Leafy video.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
And
it'd be mind-blowing.
And I want him
Well, I
to know
think the video
that
might
we're not going
reach
to be
a
bullied.
million.
You're being.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, we said minimum.
Yeah, because like look at the views.
It's gonna
Nearly
make.
like
I guarantee if he
150,
does.
2 hours.
I think
Yeah, it's gonna reach a million.
I think he makes another one. It's gonna be 1 million. I think he makes another one after that. It's 800,000.
A piece of
if
shit.
it's along these lines. Yeah.
And we're going to call you out.
So here's the button. You've got a video.
We're gonna call you out. Yeah.
You've got an audio. We're hitting both.
This ain't reaching 700K. Don't count on that, man. Because it's just like, all right, the first Star Wars movie, right? The Force Returns. That did really well. Made money, right? And everyone after that sucked. Why did he make his fucking new Star Wars movie? And then you realize Star Wars isn't what it was. You know, so people are gonna check this out just for the sake of checking it out. But I think slowly but surely, if he decides to continue, he just becomes another commentator. He becomes a 100K commentator. Joke. I talked over.
He just kind of like censors himself, I believe.
It just does. Is it a dump like an old radio button, like a radio dump?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we just cut through random music.
That is fucking cowardly to have one of those on fucking YouTube.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
So it's a dump button.
Oh, shit. Like, how pathetic are you?
Why was the dump button put in to begin with? So you don't piss off the cancel culture side. Guess what side that is, or at least stronger. It's stronger on the left.
Don't worry if we don't have it all now. I'll go on. I don't like. Please, I want to be a good Jew. I'm a good Jew. Please, guys, please.
That's fine.
That was fine. Yeah, I don't think it was that.
That was fine.
Big a deal. Of all the things that it always surprises me what you think crosses the line.
Well, I looked at Olivia and she's like,
nobody knows what crosses the line.
Also, Tommy, it looks like Ethan's commented on like the Sam Hyde versus idubbbz thing. I just sent you a clip that somebody clipped from the podcast.
Can I play that? This is gonna be audio only. Hold on.
Is a joke in the video or not?
Thinking like,
you know what's funny? I genuinely think that Sam Hyde broke Ian. And when he told me, he was like, he came and he
was
was like,
such a bizarre chapter.
He says, I'm doing a documentary on Sam Hyde. I told him, and Anissa was here. I said, that's a huge mistake. Do not do it. You guys, I don't know who. I said, do not do it. Like, trust me. Because Sam's the type of guy who's going to get the best of you, really, no matter what. And it turns out he did. And he's even crazier than.
It's funny knowing what I know and listening to this.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah. Right.
He absolutely, I think.
Oh, shit, you're right.
That is not to be repeated.
Yeah.
That is not to be repeated.
And I mean, Sam Hyde's like super ultra right. So maybe he's just, I don't know. I'm like Sam Hyde now, apparently.
I was talking about it in
I don't think Sam thinks very highly of Jewish people either, so I don't know.
I was talking about it in the office the other day, but I didn't know who Sam Hyde was until idubbbz brought him back in the spotlight.
That's it.
That's a good point. I knew who Sam Hyde was, but I had no idea. Like, I wasn't interested in him until then.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't know who he was, and he kind of brought him back into the limelight, and kind of now he's like popular again.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like, no, that makes sense. Like, so if Ethan, let me phrase it this way: if Ethan's correct and he got broke by Sam Hyde, and that's a big F. I'm not saying I know anything about that, right? If he got, isn't it ironic him calling Ian calling Ethan a coward? Just pretend we live in a world. Pretend we live in a world where Ian was really bothered by Sam Hyde's crowd, so much so that it broke him. And then we go back to that. Let's pretend that happened, just between you and me. Wouldn't it be ironic for idubbbz to call Ethan a hypocrite.
Yes, do it.
Or a coward, excuse me. Like, does anybody think that maybe Ethan's speaking about personal knowledge about how idubbbz took the whole Sam Hyde thing, and it wasn't on the chin like he likes to project? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like,
maybe Ian didn't handle it that well, and it broke him. And it made him do things and say things behind the scenes that he would be publicly embarrassed about. And then Ethan knew that.
Interesting.
Now let's talk about the button. Ethan got this button, or kill switch, as a response to the controversy with Cutie Cinderella. He was not able to
That was pretty
control
funny,
It was
though.
the most base thing he ever did.
himself in
That was the
moment,
most.
and
By the way, I like
instead
how
of
idubbbz censored her face.
Yeah.
Go back a bit.
He did. He censored her face. Like,
Yeah,
what's the
yeah,
point?
yeah. Fucking go back a bit.
Dude, she's not a dead rape. She's not a rape victim. We don't know her name. She's like a fucking streamer. You fucking shithead. So wait a minute. I thought the rape thing and the sexual thought thing is when they're not public figures. We, call them Jane Doe. By the way, I'm all for that. We don't give away. We afford the victim a certain amount of anonymity. She's a public figure, and idubbbz block that. Oh, that's so funny.
Well, luckily for us, we could just use AI. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Able to control
YouTube did it. The ghost of Susan Wojcicki did it.
Himself in that moment, and instead of figuring out how he can change his behavior, he spent $20,000.
Dan and Hila were like, we would kill button that right now if we could. I can't change who I am.
I know. That's why.
Yeah, and you know what? You shouldn't have to. But then again, you got in bed with Hassan, and that's why you had to buy that $20,000 button. But the irony of idubbbz calling you a pussy for that button is funny, considering what he may know about what happened with you and Sam Hyde.
And that's why the kill button is on its way.
That's it. See, exactly.
He uses the button for everything. If his jokes don't land, he's hitting the button.
It was being presented as if this...
At least this is a content criticism of fucking 38 minutes.
The Jordan crying thing?
I hit the button.
Why?
I don't think I needed to, but you guys were giving me crickets, so I panicked.
If he's insecure about getting something wrong, he's hitting...
Funny. This guy's talking about insecurity. Are you joking? Are you joking?
Might be the funniest joke of the video.
Yeah, that's like really? All you people are like the most insecure people on the planet. Are you joking?
The button.
But okay.
You
what? Button for that? What on this frame could Ethan have responded to? Perhaps the country flag that he got wrong? Maybe. I don't know.
If he goes on a problematic tirade, he's hitting the button.
Before, look how sad. But yeah, it's not just that. Like their eyes are like big. I think you guys are wrong on this one. I think you guys are all wrong on this one.
I don't think he's unique in hitting the button. I think if all of us had buttons, we'd hit the button.
No, I'm not a pussy. I bet you get one though. You know what? And I don't fucking. You know what? I don't fucking try to entertain the unentertainable, the humorless, the people that can't take a fucking joke. That's your wish. You being able to, and you know what? It is a high bar, right? So it is a lot. It is a total project. You have to be a skilled comic, actor, influencer to get people that want to cancel everybody else at every minute for anything they don't want to hear at any time. So you actually being able to make them crack a smile, that is a gift from God. I don't want a button. I hate it. I remember Nobody Anthony got one back in the day. They fought it.
All the time.
And they were on terrestrial radio when you actually get fined seriously millions of dollars for that shit.
But if you don't have it, you operate differently. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more. You maybe say, I'm not going to
how do you do anything organically? Oh, that's right. You're just a YouTuber. You don't know anything about streaming.
Have my
Unless you're begging for money after a fucking boxing event, you fuck, because you put your incompetent wife in charge of it.
Podcast be an emotional dumping ground for today. You instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay on topic. Also, the
I don't disagree with anything he's saying. It's just pot kettle black.
S3 community and Ethan himself use the phrase goblin mode all the time to excuse a lot of his shitty behavior or make it seem less bad.
It sounds like content cop now.
Goblin mode, actually.
By claiming that what happens is he just gets into this like uncontrolled state he refers to as goblin mode.
I do not call myself.
Who is that fucking goblin? Holy shit.
That's Nick's sister, actually.
Whose sister?
And Nicholas Fiorio's sister.
Might be the most unattractive woman I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke here.
She looks like the pot of greed card.
Jesus
She looks like Humpy Dumpy.
I don't know, man. Jesus.
Goblin mode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Goblin mode? Is that what you're calling Tourette's now?
To all victims of goblin mode, I would like to issue an apology.
You are goblin mode today. You're goblin mode. Look how many times you paused the
I'm trying,
video.
bro.
And I don't think there's no room for using the term goblin mode. I like the idea that you're defending yourself and the little guy by going goblin.
Can you imagine with the cutting criticisms that he gave in the beginning and then switching to a normal content cop video, like shifting that like halfway through?
Goblin mode.
But it's content cop. This is more in line with what's been done in the past, except it's not very funny.
A big corporation or a big entity is trying to attack you.
Like, if you fuck me over, if you steal money from me, if you patronize me, if you do any of this shit like you're trying to do to me, to treat me like a fucking idiot, I'm crazy, dude. I've gone fucking goblin mode over way less.
But you not thinking.
And so do you, and so does him. Like you guys should go bowling. You're like two peas in the same pod. It's two insecure peas in the same pod.
About what you're saying, not, reflecting on your behavior, not changing your behavior. That's not goblin mode. That's being a child. Let's talk about the crew. I think the crew.
Come on.
Dude, he fucking went to therapy once.
Give it to me, adult man.
Been put in the worst working environment that you possibly can be for a fucking podcast.
How do you know?
Every crew member has it bad. To be around Ethan, period, would be a nightmare right now.
I'm standing by every fucking syllable of that, okay? What she did.
Has he ever fired anybody? Has anybody ever quit?
I know.
Has anybody ever quit?
Not to my knowledge. I'm not sure.
That's an assumption.
It was abhorrent. And by the way,
just don't listen. Your critique of her is correct. It's just, people are sensitive about.
I don't know how anybody watches that podcast with that fucking button. That would make me berserk.
Women being called that word, and so
like, how pathetic are you? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not assuming his pronouns, and fuck all these people. Go ahead.
No,
and I'm
no.
not yelling at you. I'm just. Kelly is a black woman, right?
Yes.
Maziel is a
Korean.
Did he really do this? This show has to suck.
Dan, come on. You're being such a buzzkill. Yeah, I didn't know Korean.
Usually, with shock jocks in the past, the dump button, as it's called in the radio world, is usually given to somebody who's not on the show. It's basically a censor. But it's more pathetic to censor yourself, so you don't piss off the fucking the unfunny loser people that you attracted to your show. It's actually kind of funny.
I asked if Koreans are POs. God.
Dan's in the bathroom.
They probably think it's funny, but it's pathetic.
Let's just not do this right now.
I asked if Korean people are POCs.
The one time the button didn't work and we listened to how he spoke to AB without thinking.
That was about Bobax? Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
so
the pronouns. So
this is two losers this is basically two losers that fucking gave up their souls to that fucking left-wing cult, and they can't be funny anymore. One's got a button and the other one's got a wife.
That the internet was going to hear it. It was rude. It was nasty.
No, you can't say Bobax. You know what? Fucking Bobax is a man. Not much of one, but he's a
Mr.
man.
Man-She.
Fucking, yeah, man-she. You can't laugh about that. Who are you trying to offend? Oh, I don't want to bring in the wrong people. Whatever. Then you're no better than idubbbz.
And it didn't have
a bunch of weirdos. This like when I was growing up in the 90s, even in the 80s, like it's about being rebellious. These are like the least rebellious people on the planet. They're all panderers, and they're not even pandering. Like They're pandering to people to make them feel smarter or better. I'm above this. I'm an activist. I'm a sophisticate. It's such a joke, and they're just loser YouTubers at the end of the day. It's so funny.
Have this caveat of like, I'm not mad at you. It was anger, and it was uncalled for.
Use before you. I'm sure a few people said, like, so are you, Tommy. You're right, but I'm not ashamed of it.
They get access to cover most of it.
We're doing it.
What are you doing?
So awkward and terrible.
Maybe you should be ashamed of it like they are. What? It'd be like them? Fucking unfunny losers? Uptight jerk-offs? I don't take any fucking psychiatric medicine.
I'm sorry, I'm not...
Just like, this is what I'm talking about when it's always like...
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro...
Oh, no, I didn't...
Shit started getting on my nerves. I started doing it less often.
I want to finish it right now. I'm not finishing Wednesday.
On Friday at the movies. Is it?
You guys, like...
All right, I'm taking my hand off the... What? Okay, well...
Heard all that.
Thanks, Button.
And he didn't want to take accountability for it. He immediately wanted to deflect, and he wanted to say that the button fucked him.
First of all, I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it. But it's like every time we do it, it's like the show is what it is, and
I know.
It makes it.
I was being selfish.
Fuck that button.
Dude, that button f***ed me, dude. Can you imagine that button f***ing me over like that?
The button fucked you? AB fucked you? Who fucked you? You fucked yourself by being an asshole. He makes it seem like he's not a tyrant of a boss.
We're doing it.
What are you
Making it
doing?
so awkward and terrible.
I appreciate the hard work.
He's a tyrant. Wait a minute. It makes it seem like he's not being a tyrant. How do you know about this?
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't he just busy?
It's idubbbz job before.
Wasn't he
YouTube.
just yeah? Give me a break.
Dan, his producer, is constantly clarifying things on the air and making it clear that what Ethan said was a joke. Ethan is being overly defensive, or he's saying things that are like not true and he's exaggerating.
People saw that.
That does kill the joke. I'll give him that. But it's like I'm looking at it as like you're killing the button's killing the joke. You're killing the joke. You're taking the edge off the edginess. You're like idubbbz is presenting this like you should know better. If you knew what you were doing like I do, you wouldn't need the button. Like it's like what you pick your brand of lame.
They thought that was what you searched.
I did not type
that photo, so I'm just clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that. God forbid.
It's okay because I buttoned it.
Why?
Because
it's not that big of a.
Other people have the button. This is the best fucking thing.
Dan has the button.
They all have. He has a button. They have a button. This show sucks. He's right. I'm sorry. idubbbz is 100% right. This sucks. You have a button on the internet, so you can't offend the lamest people on the earth. You should be trying to offend them.
Deal, man.
Just
like
your inability to.
No. Hold on, Dan. How does it change anything? People knowing that we did it.
It's fun when it's a surprise.
Okay, well,
you just asked how it changed.
Surprise them on your show.
Okay, all right.
I understand that that's his role, and he's. Ethan's made that his job, or Dan's made it his job. Ethan leans on it so heavily. In the same way that he leans on the button. Ethan is leaning on all of these people to be adults and look after his behavior.
To be adult, it's not supposed to be adult. It's supposed to be a fun comedy show. Although, admittedly, it's turned into some advocacy horse shit.
And give all
like his brand, their brand of lame is will censor herself. His brand of lame is you should be able to censor yourself. Like, oh my God.
This emotional and empathetic energy for Ethan, but Ethan refuses to give it back to them. Also, let's talk about.
Or he pays them to do it. I mean, there's two ways.
Yeah,
to
it's
look
their
at
jobs.
Yeah, I know.
AB and Lena, 2 Lebanese employees, and you just continue to talk about the conflict. Like they don't exist. It would be nice.
What do you mean? Fucking like I have a Muslim right here.
Lebanese and Palestine.
Oh my God!
They're
fucking. Well, it doesn't even matter. They're virgin fucking years already.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Fucking. let me tell you something.
They're like what? Like fucking.
I tell you something, Paul. If you have a problem with anything I've said about the Palestinians, I hope you're man enough to have a discussion with me, or maybe goof on me or something. Without turning into a friendship-ending thing. I hope we can do something without you having to walk off the show. Maybe they feel the same way as Walt does. Oh my God, you're hurting their virgin ears. Like what? Like in one sense, he's saying that Ethan is not an adult, and then the next breath, He's not an adult in the way he's behaving. And then he's giving like those two women that are Lebanese descent no agency. Well, let them stick up for themselves then. And if they don't like what he's saying, fucking quit. If they think he's out of line or a genocidal maniac, like stand up. They're grown-ass women. And what are you complaining about? Oh, he's not acting like a grown-up. Yet, I guess the women over there, their virgin ears can't handle it. Oh, God, this guy's such a phone. He doesn't even realize what he says anymore.
A lot nicer for you to shut the fuck up about it. You're allowed to do that.
Why? It's his show.
It's his show.
It's
They're
his
supposed to be talking about
It's a
stuff.
drama show,
Their whole thing.
nonetheless.
That's my thing with progressives in general. You're either stupid or moral, or you just need to shut up because I don't have to defend my position. You know.
Hezbollah in Syria alone killed.
And notice like all the attacks on Ethan, right? Other than putting, the most anti-Semitic person in this space on fucking blast using a meme that she's associated with, using a meme that fucking got her and a lot of other guys suspended on Twitch. Like, think about this for a minute. I fucking lost my train of thought, but it was really good, I swear to God. What was I talking
Virgin
about?
ears.
Yeah,
Virgin
I know.
Ears.
Like, unfucking believing I lost my train of thought, man. It's getting hot here. Fuck, let me turn this goddamn heater off. I don't know why I have it. It's getting summertime.
The thing is, like, on the fucking top left, it says H3 show, not the fucking two Lebanese chicks show. It's his fucking show. Who
If they don't
fucking
like
cares?
it, fucking get lost. They can't handle it. How do you know they're Muslims? Hey, Ethan.
No,
do you know
also, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know not everybody in the Middle East is a Muslim, right? There's Jews and Christians too.
And Lebanon, of all places.
Yeah,
as
Lebanon's
well.
got a shit ton of Christians. Like a shit ton.
Was.
Oh my God. It was. Well, I mean, I think they still do have a decent amount.
Yeah, but like, you
wouldn't
kind of
wanna
have to
live
blame
there.
us for
I
that.
wouldn't
one.
want to live there
Yeah.
if I was a Christian, but hey.
You got to thank Hezbollah for that.
Yeah. Yeah, Hezbollah chased them all in there. Or Hezbollah killed them all. Okay, sure.
Double that much.
The button is weak. Fucking idubbbz 100% right about that.
All right, I'm going to move on. I just want to play Hassan talking about bad empanada.
Yeah, I mean,
Ethan doesn't want to change, and he wants to bring the entire crew down with him because he's putting them in this position every day, right? But it's more
you
important.
ever think they want to be in that position? I would have no problem.
How do you know their positions?
How do you know their position? Weren't you just bitching about it? Him putting you on a position without knowing about it. Now you know all their positions.
Have you spoken to them? Do you know their principles?
Did he? Yeah, exactly. Didn't he just do an entire section on not knowing? You don't know what my principles are, and then and he's calling him a coward. And Ian is yet to take a position. Hey, fucking pick a side. Don't put me on the spot. I mean, it's crazy.
Hey, bro, you should call me privately first. The fuck?
Gets this shit off his chest. It's more important that he dumps. We're all familiar with Goblin mode. Well, Ethan debuted a new mode recently.
And by the way, my ratio is pretty good. Like, I'm looking at like 20 Goblin modes to 1 too far. Demon mode, let's call it.
What makes Demon mode different than Goblin mode is goblins aren't really like an intimidating, powerful force. If the goblin is persistent, it can get what it wants.
When I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking...
Oh, Nick used the button, but it's a joke. But yeah. I don't agree with anybody using. I think that's
no. He has a video of the button.
Oh,
it's
of a button. Yeah,
it's not the actual
cockroach.
Yeah. Nick's not paying 20 grand. That's fucking 2 pinball machines.
No, he has a video that he presses.
Yes, I know, but he wouldn't buy one anyway. That's 2 pinball machines. Get the fuck out of here.
Ethan, the reason the internet got behind you when you were being sued by Matt Haas or when you were being sued by Ryan Kavanaugh is because people saw you as the underdog. They saw you.
The same thing with you and Content Cop. He's really sure this is gonna like land hard. Same thing with you.
As the guy who's defending the comment.
Like 90% of the stuff that he's criticized, it's been legitimate, but you can say the same thing about him.
Man,
I'm suing, and I can't.
Can we say Pocket Black? Pocket Black.
Yeah, that's you've been against Pocket Black the whole fucking time.
Can we fucking say this?
His criticisms are not like there was much more criticism in this video that I think were totally legitimate, but he doesn't have the wherewithal to realize, like, yeah, it's kind of you too, bro. No, it's different with me.
Cannot wait for you guys to read it. At the moment, we are writing 3 complaints for 3 people.
You are doing the classic rich asshole thing. You have a deficit of friends, you have a surplus of enemies. You feel really bad.
So do you. So do you.
He made a video on fucking Froggy because he insulted your wife.
But you also
fucking made a joke.
When he means friends, he means YouTube friends too. You know, he's supposedly above that whole thing too, and then he's pissed off that Ethan accused him of only being with him because it was for his benefit. Yeah, I can see how Ethan came to that conclusion. Look how you rank your friends. It's clearly, how do you know he has a deficit of friends?
My schizo theory is that Hassan paid him.
I know, that's fucking nuts.
Have a surplus.
I don't think he would have had to. I think he always felt this way.
Of money. So what can you do?
I think he's always been this hypocritical. I think he's always been this self-righteous. Why would Hassan have to spend a dime?
You can use that money to bully and intimidate people. These public legal threats that you're making to fellow creators, these legal threats that you're making to people on Reddit, on Twitter, you're like, I'm hurt. These people are hurting me. What do I do to stop it? There's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power, you have a ton of options, you have a ton of choice. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich, is you can do all of these things.
I've never want to sue someone for defamation, but like at what point do you
I'm sorry, how much were you
have
making
to?
off the 30 million view content got videos?
I know.
I mean, this is like basically someone.
You got to give him this. He did fucking private him.
Calling you a pedophile. Be like, yeah, no, Ethan's a pedophile.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of Twitch, and being
Pedophile. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite. There are certain things you can accuse people of that rise above to make it like actionable, which is like.
You know what's funny? Funny about this? This is all the same shit. I think this is all the same shit they do. I mean, on the Palestine, they call everybody fucking Nazis and pedophiles and shit. It's not no different. I'm not saying I support it or anything, but I mean, let's be honest. That's the game. That's what's happening. You know, it's wrong.
I think it's like Ian is probably right about this, but about the whole lawsuit shit. It's a bit much.
The lawsuit
is probably not wrong.
The lawsuit stuff does take it to the next level. But let me say this so I've stayed consistent before, especially when it came to Mr. Some Ordinary Gamers. You start fucking, like, first of all, it's not a war, it's a genocide to them, right? And that is in itself is debatable, but it's not debatable to them. So they're throwing this shit around there. If they can show some kind of fucking loss in sponsorship, right? I'm sorry, that's up to a court to decide. I don't really have a problem with that. Now, if he's every time he gets his feelings hurt, he's suing. Well, you know what that's going to do? And to some extent, the recent lawsuit threats I have, it's going to get people that are kind of like supportive, but they don't like to see this shit go to court, kind of to turn on them. It's not smart. It's not good optics for anything. But as far as like, if he wants to see, like I've said it before, for the people that have called me a pedophile, bad parent, neglective, let my son choke to death, I would absolutely have loved to sue them. Absolutely love to. Right. But I also do realize there's a limit on this fucking shit. So, you know, like, hey, like you can say what you want to say. But, you know, defamation isn't protected speech, and it is up to a court to decide it. But it's like Walt said, if you do it too much and you go to the well once too often, then you just kind of, A, you live up to this Jewish stereotype, and B, it's just like, you know, you can't let anything slide. You're throwing fireballs, one gets thrown back, and you can't let it roll off your back. And by the way, I couldn't have sued anybody that called me after this. I really didn't take any loss from it. The only guy I probably could have sued was Keemstar. When he said he couldn't feed my family. That's the only guy I probably would have had half again. I probably would have lost that too.
Wrongfully accusing someone of being a pedophile, a sex criminal, a murderer, shit like that. Dan Clancy now, in other words, he is.
Tommy, you like this. It's one big case of projection. That's all it is. It's the biggest projection I've ever seen.
He's a pedophile.
It's not entertaining. It's not super funny. It does point out some fucking things, but everything that he's pointed out is correct. You probably could say about idubbbz too. There you go. Wrap it up.
You have so much less to go off of saying that than anybody has about Dream.
Based on his looks. Just on his based on his.
Well, at least you're self-aware.
That's 100% a joke. I have no evidence to conclude that he is.
One of the more notable legal threats that Ethan has sent out recently is against Noah Sampson.
I have nothing but vibes to gain, and potentially your money as well. Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. You're going to be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. 26, you know what I mean? Try 46.
Noah made a video that was critical of Ethan and other content creators when they're talking.
You're leaving something out.
No, it was
About
slanderous.
Israel and Palestine. I mean, the way he's talking about Noah on his podcast.
You're leaving something out. You have to fucking.
Here's the video.
You're leaving something out, probably deliberately.
Is so fucking creepy and weird.
Is this a new thing?
This is a new thing. This happened during the show. Upon initial examination, it seems to check out, and it's not great for young Noah.
Can I say that? Don't say it yet.
I'll say it.
So he's a rape.
He's a weirdo, and he's not. He might not be a Nazi, but he probably is anti-Semitic. Believe me, he's doubled and tripled down on people saying the most anti-Semitic shit. Don't give me that shit.
So of course his standard. I don't know what he's accused of, so I'm not actually going to say. But
Ethan brought on a former partner of Noah to basically just shit talk.
Hey, you're leaving something out. He called him genocidal. All right. Now, I don't know. I just saw somebody write in the chat, like, yeah, I might agree with you, but I think the lawsuit's kind of silly. You know, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But you probably could sue somebody for, falsely calling them genocidal. If you could show some kind of, look, I mean, that's why these people are nuts. They're so sure of their position. Like, me personally, with all the wars, one I've been a part of, and B, all the ones I've read about, I don't see what the fucking difference is here. So don't tell me civilians are getting killed. Talk to the French about that. Talk to every other fucking nation that's been invaded. I don't see how this is like so much fucking different. And he's saying it's genocidal. I mean, this whole thing started was, hey, can you at least show some empathy for the people that were killed on October 7th? Hassan failed to do that because he was okay with it. And then for some fucking reason, instead of saying to himself, H3, saying to himself, boy, I have really rotten fucking friends. Maybe this area of leftism is fucking evil, and I'm just gonna blow all these people's off. He went on a fucking crusade, just like he did with Keemstar. And to some extent, yeah, and now he's suing people for calling him a genocidal maniac. Which is ridiculous. And if you sue them and they lose everything, I'll laugh at them for sure. But it's probably not good optics. But then again, if you're watching H3, it's not a comedy show. It's pure advocacy. And more than likely, that's what you're going to see from idubbbz in the future.
You are not accusing him of committing any crimes or doing R-word or anything like that. The accusation is that he's a sleaze.
Absolutely. Noah Sampson, as far as I know, is not a rapist.
Fuck you to Noah Sampson, who's not just a liar and a scumbag, but also a creep. Allegedly.
Now let's talk about...
That is low when you do that. I don't like that either.
The left...
Because that allegedly is like in Minecraft.
...leaning Democrat.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
Oh, God. The thing that made me start to question Ethan's intentions is that when he was suggested to talk to Sam Seder, a fellow progressive, a guy that Ethan respects and looks up to.
He works with Sam Seder at the Majority Report. I respect him and what they do there.
He kept saying that it was racist.
It was pre-fucking October 7th.
Or anti-Semitic to suggest that he talked to someone who's within the same ethnic group as him.
That's why I said yesterday, I urge Ethan to talk to Sam Seder. There are very thoughtful, very kind anti-Zionist Jews out there that he could talk to. I don't think that I will be able to reach him.
What's the insinuation that I only listen to other Jewish people? You need to talk to my pre-approved list of Jews that agree with me on everything. It doesn't matter if they're Jewish, dude. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish.
I think most Jews.
I don't think Jews at large view it. I don't think that is the.
In what position are you to even say that?
It's not motivated by myself. It's motivated by Jews against anti-Zionist Jews.
Seriously, how can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that
is lame. idubbbz is right about this too. I mean, to me, this is how liberals act. They do it to conservatives. They do it to people, libertarians, people that disagree with them. At one time they say, hey, my Jewishness doesn't matter, which by the way is the truth, right? And how dare you say this, you're not Jewish. By the way, I hate soldiers that do that too. You can't say anything about the war because you didn't sign up. That's a bunch of horse shit as well. I hate watching my own do that. You know,
Not really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what to fucking tell you. This is like step one of having a leftist ideology, is recognizing our race, religion, nationality, all this shit, all shape our experiences as people.
That's the reason why it'd be better served to have this conversation not with myself, but with an anti-Zionist Jewish person.
Why does it matter if they're Jewish?
Because I'm not Jewish, and you've said in this conversation that, like, how can you tell me how to feel about the situation?
Yeah, but how is one person a representative?
He represents my point of view. Both these people, everybody's ridiculous.
Of Jews at large.
But like, here's another point. Okay, so going back to the two Lebanese chicks that Ethan has, so
yeah, I was just
again, so like, why should that matter now?
Yeah, like
you kind of just disproved your point.
It
Yeah, we're all
matter
people,
before,
but hey, you got two Lebanese chicks.
Yeah, Lebanese. How dare you speak in front of these Lebanese chicks? You know, it's not.
Dude, we're all people, same creed, different creeds,
weird.
fucking different races.
You're seeing like why I'm not a liberal in action. It's just whatever. Look, you got to use the Holocaust for shield. You got to use fucking Palestinians for
just
shield.
whatever fits.
Whatever fucking fits. This is why we're not. It's like there's no principle there.
I say it as a joke, but it's literally a minority totem pole. Like where you fit is like how much victim status you can have according to these people.
It's like, you know, one is a sword, one is a shield, and you just pick them up as they go along.
Just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
So yes, Ethan, on occasion you might be suggested to talk to someone who has some crossover with you. It doesn't have to be your ethnicity. It could possibly be someone who shares progressive ideology with you. It could possibly be someone who is of your same gender. I think Ethan understands this concept.
I think that fucking concept is completely fucking stupid.
Oh shit.
I think it is totally fucking stupid. And it is, in fairness to Ethan, it is kind of, I don't even know the word for it. It's just so condescending. You need to talk to somebody. Perhaps you would be, I mean, it sounds like some Nazi shit. Perhaps you would be comfortable talking to somebody like your own, and they'll set you straight. This person's of your background. They don't agree with you. Perhaps you might want to listen to them. It's fucking creepy. Fuck you. You defend your position, motherfucker. Come on, let's go. How come you can't say anything and show the slightest bit of empathy for those people that were murdered, as I show people empathy for the coming definite civilian casualties going to take place in Palestine? That's how this started. Perhaps idubbbz didn't know that. Something tells me he did.
Very well.
It's so condescending. Like
I don't think he did.
You know what? Fuck what?
I don't think he understands what Israel Palestine is done until fucking October 7th. I don't think he can point out Israel on a fucking map.
No, probably not.
None of these fucking idiots can.
Yeah, but imagine like how. Imagine if you had some kind of disagreement with me, and then I was like, "Hey, Vault, this is Habib. He's from your country, and he has your background. He agrees with me. Talk to him." It's so condescending. It's kind of racist.
It is, yeah.
Listen, I have another black person over here, Jamal. Perhaps you want to listen to him. It's creepy. It's got like a 1984 vibe to it, you know?
Well, listen to our Uncle Tom over here, buddy.
It's so weird.
On his show, when they told him that he shouldn't be calling women bitches.
I think that's much worse than saying, what's worse? Saying the word nigger or saying, hey, listen, listen, Jamal, my black friend. Here's another black person that sees things the way I do. Why don't you? I think it's a good idea if you speak to them. I think the N-word by itself, with no context, is less racist than what I fucking just did.
Yeah, I'd rather be called a sand nigger to my face, man.
I mean, really, that is the most.
And I have by you.
He sounds like a total bigot here. No, I haven't. I never did. Fuck off. I never called you that.
Was it good?
Bitch is intolerable. You are such a nasty fucking bitch, Cam.
I don't know if you can call her a bitch though.
She is a bitch. She's a fucking. You're right. I call her a see you next Tuesday.
Listen, you have.
I'm curious, what do Lena and Sam think about it?
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's for the girlies, Ethan. But I
So
agree.
you guys all seem to be in consensus that it's in poor form. I think to respect the women here in the room, I'm gonna have to pass on saying that.
The infantilization of Ethan.
You can hear Nick screaming disavow. I don't disavow. I use that word deliberately, and I don't give a fuck. Deliberately, and I don't care, for a reason, for that reason. The context is to show how ridiculous it is. What's worse? A word with
you
no
actually
context?
don't need to interact with real people ever.
Pearson.
Ian_Jom donated $5. Personally, I think eating bigger is the worst thing ever. I can attest to it.
Okay.
Klein is
I don't get
fucking
it, but thank you, Ian.
nauseating. He's not a child. He is absolutely capable of.
No, but going by to say before, yeah, I think a word by itself means nothing personally. Oh, you know what idubbbz used to think, but he changed his mind because apparently the N-word is like a magical word. And actually doing something racist and condescending. Talk to your own. They'll set you straight. Yeah. Me saying that doesn't even come close.
Looking into Hassan, learning about his politics, interviewing, doing loads of things to figure out where he stands.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things. And for the first time, I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats, not whatever.
Well, you're an idiot for that, Ethan.
This was. This comment.
I credit, when I watched that video 2 months ago, I said that was the most ridiculous fucking thing I heard in it. This guy is a radical communist. There's no doubt about it.
From Hassan really started to sound some alarms in my head. I was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is.
You made how many episodes with Hassan?
I'm sorry,
This
Ken.
guy made a fucking program.
He's right.
With the
He's
biggest
fucking
mega
right.
leftists on the platform.
all
Now
these are
he's acting
criticisms
like
that
he was
everyone's
I'm
already
literally
had.
like the only guy making this criticism. I actually feel a little relieved that idubbbz made it. I've been saying it for months. And I to be honest with you, I'm going to go one step further. Ethan deliberately played dumb. He loved the commie cocked until it spit in his eye.
And he was incapable of figuring out what this guy's beliefs were.
No, he did. He loved that commie cock until it spit, and he thought it was fucking cool. Until you forgot, you know what? Commies hate Jews too.
Bro, I didn't make the fucking leftist program. You did. You made fucking, 60 some odd episodes of this shit for hours talking to this guy?
Fair enough.
You didn't have a problem with any of it until, Ethan talks about being aware of Hassan's 9.
He didn't have a problem with any of it until the other guy showed no empathy whatsoever. I think they could have went on. I think they could have dealt something. But I think it's pretty clear that Hassan is okay with the violence on October 7th. That's what happened. That's what he was looking for. We can go further, but I got to know you have fucking empathy. That is not unreasonable.
9/11 comments, and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
Yeah, Karl Marx did hate Jews. I've read a couple. I've seen stuff. I've seen some of the anti-Semitic stuff he said in German. Strangely enough,
You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial
yeah. So you don't have an excuse. But I'm sorry, Ethan's got him dead to rights here.
jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular
Yep.
Okay.
You try to explain this away.
If you're a left winger, if your hate can be put in the fucking square peg of a round hole of passion, then it's okay. That doesn't that literally goes for nobody on earth. How much you want to bet? When I use the way I used the N-word before, could be totally fucking shoehorned to me being a bigot without context. But if I used it to push a left-wing idea, then it was just my passion. It's so funny. Oh God, he's been trained well.
You see the Klan when the Klan lynched a black guy. They were just very passionate, Tommy.
Passionate, yeah. Well, you can do it anyway. No, I've seen this before. Everything. Ethan's a new lib, so he's He's just regurgitating the common stuff now. Wow.
Topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to Hassan a little bit more and found out what
he's a commie. Absolutely.
International politics opinions are. But you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online. You're not a victim. You weren't tricked. You made 60 some odd episodes.
Nope, absolutely.
If you didn't want,
I could not agree more with him on this. Whether it's coming from a hypocritical place or not, he's 100% correct about this.
Want to go down this route, you shouldn't have done it. But that was your fucking choice.
Yeah, why did you do it? Because you thought the righties were your enemy and you were crusading against them. It turns out when the whole Israel thing happened, all the people that you freaking hated, like Keemstar and Nick, and now you're best buddies in the world. Because I think they're a lot more fucking neutral and have actual principles instead of principles that are based in some rigid ideology, which is what you, idubbbz, and Hassan have.
You did it. You are an adult. When Ethan and Hila are watching Matt Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews, they cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No single person... You can't wrap your head... Well, this goes back to the Lebanese girls that work for him.
Yep.
Yeah, like...
Represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
No single person represents all Jews as no single state.
Here's the thing. If you're a minority person, and you just speak for yourself. In fact, if you're just a person in general, don't speak for your ethnic group. You never fucking know.
Represents
it does make you look stupid.
all Jews.
This is another weird thing.
Oh my God.
This is a lie that I see Hassan and people pander. They say that Israel's going to war on behalf of Judaism. They have never, I don't believe that that's ever been stated. And I don't think Israel...
Actually, they don't need to because they just slaughtered a bunch of kids at a concert. You could go to war over that. No Judaism included.
Well, ever explains that it's like... I think Israel says
you can literally go. You can justify just about everything, but actual genocide, right? To go to war with a country after what happened at that concert. I mean, literally, what happened at the concert was no Russian on steroids.
Place where Jews can go.
Israel's just a place Jews can go? With that slogan, we might actually have peace. You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go. Like, sure, it sounds like America to me. Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's a stance. We're like, hey, I
don't even get what fucking he just said. I don't
Displacing
get
Palestinians.
I don't know why he thought that was like some kind of cutting edge comeback. Wasn't Israel kind of set up by the UN because like everybody seems just to want to fucking kill Jews and we got to carve out one part of the country?
Yeah, because we set out like right after World War II by the US,
and they put a bunch of
UK.
European Jews because Europeans are in fucking great numbers at the time, are anti-Semitic. They really didn't have too much problem with the fucking Holocaust, even though they constantly fucking hold their hearts about it now. So we said, you know what? This is it. This is what the UN did. This is the line. This is where it is.
UK.
There's a lot. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So I think that's what Ethan's represented, kind of saying. It's like, I think Israel's got a rule. If you could prove that you're some kind of oppressed Jew from another country, you get in, you get citizenship. They speed you through. I know that the American gangster Meyer Lansky, tried to do that, and fucking Gilda Mayor told, "Get the fuck out of here, gangster. We know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. You're not a fucking oppressed Jew. You're a gangster. Get the fuck out." Yeah, that's why Israel is set up for. Hey, you might have a problem with it, but that's the way I understand it. How much you want to bet he doesn't know anything about that?
Is all Jewish people.
Ethan is being so...
Yeah, the U.S. actually blocked people, Jewish people, by the way, Roosevelt did during the war. Now, in fairness, I don't know if Roosevelt knew they were being slaughtered. So he probably saw it as like, hey, this is too much immigration. Right. I don't know if he knew that. A lot of that stuff was my grandfather told me that a lot of that's because he was a teenager when they first started hearing about the concentration camps. And he said it was kind of more of a rumor. Right. Everybody knew that Hitler was an anti-Semite, but nobody thought he'd go that far. In fact, nobody knew it for sure until the Russians and the Americans found it.
disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand what Matt Lieb is saying. Like, he's making a semantic argument. Like, I don't think Israel has said that it represents every last Jew on the planet. I don't think Israel has claimed that. They're not going to say that their most genocidal behavior represents anything to do with them, okay? But what they are going to do is they're going to inexplicably link Israel and Jewishness together, so when they're being criticized, all of a sudden, they have the perfect defense. Oh, another thing I need to mention. There was a tier list. It was called the Who Can Say Habibi tier list. It was presented at TwitchCon as like a panel that was just meant to be lighthearted and fun.
It wasn't.
And Ethan Klein saw that, and he decided that it was anti-Semitic.
It was all right. I'm not an idiot. I saw it too, and
I love racist jokes, and I love saying jokes. I love saying all that shit. That was anti-Semitic.
I don't like racist jokes. I don't think you like racist jokes, like hateful stuff. All right. But I like I like stuff that jokey stuff about ethnicity. We've made the fucking. How many times have we done the? We do jokes about limp titties with Jeannie. We do the throw the roof things with you. I'm sure I've gotten a handful of fat American or drunk Irishman type things. That's as far it can be. I don't think it's actually racist. Racist implies, and I'm starting to split hairs and being semantic here, that there's actual hate. Right? That shit had actual motherfucking hate.
Yeah.
This is a tier list of good people and bad people. And we use the product that's associated with Israel as bad people. Give me a fucking break.
As evil.
Give me a fucking break. Liberals are always screaming and like crying about dog whistles, and I always hate that because it's a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle. Yeah, like liberals only have they only have the ability to hear these whistles. Nobody else does. They hear them because it's very secretly racist, and they're the only ones. This wasn't a dog whistle. It was right in the fucking board. And by the way, your buddy Dan Clancy fucking stamped off and kicking those guys to the fucking curb. Now you're going to tell me this is okay. I can't wait to hear this.
Major help to discuss and figure out who can say Habibi and who can't. And also, we have tiers. We have Arab coded. They ask for
Habibi.
Permission to say Habibi. Like you got like a white guy who's like, can I say it? Is it a slur?
Yeah.
And then Love Sabra, which is they're not Arab coded at all.
Now, when I first saw this tier list, I immediately knew what it was doing. I was like, oh, it's a play on the who has the N-word pass and who doesn't tier list. Granted, Habibi is very different than the N-word, but it is a cultural word amongst Arabic-speaking people and Muslim people. Like that is a word that's used. Habibi. It means my.
He's just silly. I don't know.
Why did he just assume like all Arabs are fucking Muslim?
Yeah, I know. Is he? Because he's a
all right, buddy.
Because you know why? Some of that insecurity that he has and why he lied is the fact that he probably is pretty ignorant. Yeah, there probably is some legitimacy to his insecurity that he's kind of ignorant. Actually, it literally means baby, right? Like word for word.
Yeah, it means baby, my love.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Love. Oh no, don't do that, Habibi. Oh yes, Habibi. You're my Habibi. I'm your Habibi. So.
I've had Arab men call me a BB. Doesn't that say like my cab drivers? Hey, calm down, a BB. It'll be okay. You get me there on time. Yeah, it's a BB.
Sure. Yes, it's meant to be a fun way that these Arab content creators can express.
Is he going to leave out the part that they were ranking their loyalty? Is he just going to let that out?
Their Arab culture and be proud of it and happy about it, because it's not like they have massive representation on the platform.
Thanks.
Making a tier.
I feel better now.
Boy, this is his biggest mistake. This is a real rework of the actual situation.
Based on race. And nobody has a fucking problem with that. Okay, you have a tier list based on race.
It is exactly what it is. And you totally could take it that way. The lowest level on the tier list has something to do with Israel. Who the fuck are you kidding, idubbbz? Who the fuck are you kidding?
Where's the Jewish panel? Where at the top it says Jewish. It's a tier list based on Arab to Jew. He's Arab, which is good. That's the best thing you can do.
It's quite literally that. He's going to say it isn't. It's quite literally that. Arab, fucking Jewish bread spread at the bottom. Because they have the balls to say Jew. I mean, it's quite literally that. It's quite literally that.
Jewish
and the only thing they did was change the name of Dirty Jew to Sabra. That's the only thing they did.
Be on this. That's the best. This is racist.
I will say that conveying information through a tier list is not the most effective thing.
But it's out of passion. They don't have a lot of people representing them. It's just this is
no. But Tommy. Ian knows better. He's a comedian, all right? He knows better. He knows a joke.
I don't.
So this is clearly a joke because he said so.
None of these guys are like traditionally trained in any fucking sort of discipline. They're just YouTubers.
Should understand this.
He just happened to be a little better at it than most.
Principle. He did a white slurs tier list with Hassan.
Cracker.
I mean, you know what my take is.
Okay. That's fair game.
We can't put this as an F. Cracker. I mean, that's got to be at least a D, right?
I didn't know this.
Pale face motherfucker.
Pale face. I mean, again, I think that's an F. Hog.
So Hog is my favorite. I use it all the time.
Him and Hassan feel as though they are white guys, so they felt very comfortable talking about white slurs on their tier list.
But it's white straight down. There's fucking Arab Jew at the bottom. It's white from top to bottom.
I think I'm more white than you. What do you think?
I think I'm white. Like
you know what? I will say this. Like, I don't think he meant to point this out. It is a fucking racial tier list at the end of the fucking day. So if you're gonna get offended about one, get offended by the other. But it's like they're ranking the slurs. The other one, they're ranking the people. In fairness, but all right, I'll just wait for my Willie Mack video to tell me what to think.
Super white.
Can you understand why Arabs might feel comfortable talking about Arab shit?
They're not just talking about Arabs. You're a liar. You're a liar. Love Sabra.
Yeah,
all right, tell me what Sabra is. Tell everybody what Sabra is. What the fuck? What is Sabra? So
it's a Israeli hummus company used as a fucking Jewish slur.
Give me whoa! I didn't know that. Do you Arabs use that as a Jewish slur?
No, we don't.
No,
but like
okay.
it kind of became popular because of this. It just means Israeli.
Oh, now it's
coded Israeli.
So now it's a Jewish slur. It wasn't before the video though. Like if in 1995, if we were hanging out and we were both Arabs and I said love Sabra, that's not a Jewish slur. But now it's.
I mean, it's not. It's not common. It's not common at all. Just all fucking
actually,
Sabra just
internet Arabs
Jews from Israel.
Internet Arabs now use it as a slur. Okay, so it wasn't a slur prior to that. Okay, that's important though.
On their tier list, Ethan, you're the white guy. You think you're more white than Hassan.
I think I'm more white than you.
So yeah, the white guy can say.
Actually, Ethan's the only white guy there. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
He's of European descent, and the other guy's a Turk. Turks. Technically, it's in the EU. Yeah, that's right. This is another weird thing about your bigotry.
No.
I don't think the Turks are European. I could be wrong. Do they consider themselves European? I don't know. I don't even care.
Yes.
They are you sure? Because I'm a football guy. I'm a football guy. I know. I live in an area of Germany where it's Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. Okay. And one of them's kind of the westernized Turk, and one team and I forget which, represents kind of the old school Turk. Because let's face it, Istanbul is like the gate to the Middle East, at the very least. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know I think some Turks see themselves as European, others I'm a Turk. But none of them see themselves as Arabs.
I guess just because Turkey is a very big country and it depends on where you are.
You're not. I guess it depends. No,
farther west, more EU.
Culturally,
farther east.
But I mean, culturally, they're a little more. They're a mix. I know that. Culturally, they're more in line with Middle Eastern culture.
It's a different language.
Yeah, I know.
It's not Arabic.
Yeah, but I mean, Islam has a lot of weight in the culture. I would say, don't you think?
Yeah, most of them are not that religious. It depends on where you are.
They're not as well. They're hard on their women over here.
Have you ever been to a Turkish barber? They're all fucking tatted up.
Of course. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I tell them, I say the machine a bit when they cut because I won't let them use it because they like to use razors. I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable.
All the things that he wants, like
call me a racist. I will not let. They got to use the machine on I'll fucking cut my own neck hair when I get home. But they do a great job.
Cracker. But the Arabs can't have their tier list.
I would.
if the F tier is Jew, I guess it's kind of.
He's gonna cut to the clip.
But I'm also an Arab. I know Turkish people are different.
Notice how they dropped the premise almost immediately that it's about who can say Habibi. And then it's like, Hassan, okay, actually, he's Arab. We fucking love him. He's dope. He's Arab.
Habibi is an Arabic word.
And he's not an Arab. He's a Turk.
Turks are not Arab. They speak a different fucking language.
Turks aren't
They
Arab.
speak Turkish.
They speak Turkish. Is there any kind of, it doesn't even matter if there is. He's not an Arab.
I'm sure there is some overlap in the language.
I'm sure. But there's overlap with German and English, so what, you know?
This whole thing is that they say Habibi in Israel. Again, people underestimate just how like mixed.
I can't believe that he's not going to address the Sabra thing.
Israeli culture is like.
We say Habibi in Israel. Yes, Ethan. Another piece of evidence as to why it isn't anti-Semitic.
This is racist.
If you're not Arab or
he's really, if he doesn't mention this, what Sabra means, it's a complete omission and completely dishonest.
Understand Arab culture at all, which is a lot of Americans. And Ethan
but you do.
Presents you this tier list and calls it anti-Semitic. You're just going to eat it up. It's not. Ethan is just proving his location on this tier list under Love Sabra because he doesn't understand Arab.
This is a huge mistake he walked into.
Arab culture.
This saves Ethan a little bit.
There's a lot of Arabs who eat Sabra. There's a lot of people like.
That's not what they mean. That's not. I'm sure there is. That he's playing dumb now. Now he's deliberately playing stupid.
Me who eat Sabra. A lot of the times it's all that's in the store, and I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna eat it. But
that's not what he's saying. It says loves Sabra. Everything is a different kind of Arab. At the bottom is love Sabra. The bottom is the bad part. Who the fuck are you kidding?
Not the good shit. Like the average.
Hey, and listen, I think it's a pretty good point that like Ethan doesn't. Ethan's okay with a tier list if it's a group that he doesn't in a different group. You know, that's fine. But it was a ranking. It was ranking slurs on how cool they were. This was ranking people and how good or bad
back
they
into
were.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
The Arab American,
about him being paid
they're going to go
to make this
in the store, and the only option they have is fucking Sabra, and that sucks. That's the only option, right?
Nasty mass-produced Jewish hummus. The Jews stole our hummus. Do you feel that way, Walt, as our token Arab?
I'm gonna stay out of it.
You can say hummus.
You
can say their hummus sucks. That doesn't make it. Does it suck?
I mean, the Palestinian food is 1,000 times better. Yeah.
Okay.
I've tried.
I'm sorry. Fucking pizza's better in New York. Pizza's way better in New York. I think Botanic's Arab too, so there's some brotherhood there. I could totally believe it. Honestly, if you were going to give me, look, I'm going to give you the best hummus. Right, you can take this stuff, the Israeli stuff, which is mass-produced, or my mom's special recipe. I'm probably going to go with your mom's special recipe. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Arab communities and distribution facilities are not widespread across the U.S. So what are they left with? They're left with a common, relatable, shitty hummus, which is Sabra. And what's so fucking pathetic about this whole thing is after he was able to get these Arab creators banned off of Twitch for 30 days,
he got them banned?
Are you going to show the fucking clips of how they got banned?
No.
He goes on to talk about how bad Sabra hummus is on his show.
I don't think
it's not about what fucking how good or bad. Love Sabra is just because they can't say dirty Jew. Oh my God, it's code for Jew, man. It's not that fucking difficult. He's just that dishonest. That's why he put that fat pig on. Because he just rationalizes it. I'd like to see what he rationalized when he said about fucking soldiers. It is a dog. It's not even a dog. But I hate that fucking saying. It's a dog. Everybody knows what it means. Nobody's this stupid.
Anybody wants to prefer Sabra over homemade like restaurant quality hummus. You know, it's what's there.
Like weird.
Oh, got him, idubbbz.
There's
fluffy.
It is fluffy.
Sabra. Weird.
Yeah.
I would buy it sometimes and eat it. It's not the best.
The problem is with Sabra, in my opinion, it's only good for the first 2 days.
For some reason, like when you eat this Sabra shit, it just feels so much heavier. Imagine eating a whole fucking vat of Sabra.
That's not what it's about. It's not the fucking product that it represented. That's so dishonest.
Since that's crazy.
Yeah. I've never liked hummus.
Oh, okay.
Well, you hate Jews then.
I don't.
And Arabs.
Yeah. This is racist.
Yeah, it's almost like you can have a discussion about Sabra hummus being a bad hummus.
That's not what that shit was about.
That's not the point.
You know, in fact, I specifically remember watching, well, that's person support, so they belong in the A tier. If you supported them, you're good. If you're against them, you're bad, and you love Sabra, which is associated with Israel. What am I, fucking stupid, idubbbz? I'm not even a Jew. I'm not even an Arab or a Jew. Get me the fuck out of here.
Without it being at all
You didn't even know Turks weren't Arabs, you dipshit.
related to a Jewish thing or an Israeli thing. He can have that discussion as much as he wants on his podcast because we all know his intentions aren't anti-Semitic.
This is what he did. He hit his heart hard.
The Zionism is leading to not accepting other cultures, embracing their own culture.
Oh my God.
What?
The Zionism. Yes, this is, and John and Sigma, if you're still there, this is why I don't. If like I'm probably gonna go bar after this. If I hear that word, I'm fucking done. I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, sure. That's the person I'm not gonna talk to.
Culture, and instead thinking that that is an attack on you. There's this incident.
It's not an attack on you. It's just an attack on.
Is he gonna play the fucking?
It's not. Arabs are good. Arabs are good. Jews are bad. Really? You're gonna fucking insult my intelligence and say and sit there and say it's a discussion about fucking mass-produced crap from Israel that nobody likes on their fucking hummus? Are you kidding me? Are you lying? Or are you just that stupid? I'm thinking you're lying. I mean, like, is it really ridiculous for me to come to the conclusion either that you're just unbelievably ignorant or you're just fucking an anti-Semite that's willing to say anything to cover for them?
But thank God, QT's face is blurred down, so I feel better now.
Yeah, Zionism is just another, just like the Sabra thing. Zionism is just another code word to people that are being labeled, afraid to be labeled racist. You're right. It's a dance around. Oh God. When I hear that used word unironically, it's just like, it's the same way. Like if I hear yeah, man, the blacks are at it again. I'm leaving that conversation going somewhere else. If I hear Zion, I'm out of there. I'm going somewhere else. If I hear Zion, it's same thing.
On the podcast,
it's double speak, exactly.
Where they were reacting to Cutie Cinderella, and Ethan was laughing during it. So that ended up being a pretty important wake-up call for Ethan. He made an apology video directed at Cutie Cinderella, and it was graded.
You laughed again.
By a professional psychologist, Dr. Kirk Honda of psychology.
Yeah, sure. I always trust the
Here
guys.
we go.
I always trust that. I have no respect for the people that do YouTube because
if let's say like a psychologist was fucking successful, why would he have a YouTube channel?
Once they get because they probably I think what happened to Grande, they got successful and then it becomes YouTube drama. Then you got to follow the money. And then it just becomes YouTube drama. I'm glad I started with drama. I didn't get there. Yeah, I'm sure Dr. Grande went in for the best reasons. And then next thing you know, he's cracking jokes. He's saying he's pandering, right? So I don't trust any of these guys because the money pulls them in the direction. And it's just YouTube in general. It's not even the fact that they're doctors and stuff or they're bad people because they're doctors or whatever. It's just that all these guys, they will not piss off their audience. It's just gonna tell them what they want to hear.
Psychology in Seattle, and Ethan got an A+ rating.
In terms of a public apology, this is A+.
Ethan won't stop talking about his A+ rating.
You know he rated my apology to Cutie Cinderella a perfect score, a perfect 10.
A perfect 10.
He's not joking. And I got to be honest with you, I don't take anybody that calls himself a doctor too seriously that can, scientifically rate apologies? Are you kidding me? Like, what kind of quack does that if it's not a joke?
10 out of 10?
Literally 10 out of 10. Go back. I can teach you how to make a good apology. I'm the best at
10 out of 10.
He sounds like he's joking around. He's probably being sarcastic. Am I supposed to take this literally?
I know what a perfect apology is, lady. You fucking don't. Is my perfect apology in this PowerPoint? Dude, I got a perfect 10 out of 10. This one is actually best.
He thinks it's a joke, dude. All right, is anybody in the chat, is he going to pretend that Ethan's being literal here? Hold on.
Apology, so. Ethan Klein, you guys, oh my God.
I was trying really hard to think about an impactful moment during this video. Like, could I do something that would really wake Ethan up? And I don't know if this came from a good place or not, but I came up with the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to a B at least. So I went to visit psychology in Seattle. I'm not confident that Kirk will change his grade, but it's worth trying. And, you know, we might learn a thing or two.
Xander!
Is that funny?
Probably get pretty low marks. Unlike me, perfect score, 10. I said, hey, Lud, no wig drama. Why are you such a spineless coward of a person now that you've inserted yourself and your girlfriend into this conversation?
Okay, idubbbz, I hear you. You're in the room with me right now. I hear you. I hear your request.
It's supposed to be funny.
I understand it. I can understand where it's coming from.
And here's what he's going to do. He's going to lower the grade, and we're all supposed to think that's funny. But you know what that makes me think? It makes me think that he's just a fucking YouTuber that's pandering, and he has a big YouTuber right next to him. He's going to go right with it, right? Yeah, and then he can always turn back and say, yeah, it's a fucking joke.
And I guess have a policy that when there is a grade for an apology.
Imagine somebody giving ratings on apologies that is not joking around and calling himself a scientist.
I am just grading that discrete apology as I see it without taking any consideration of prior or future behavior. If you're wanting me to comment on the overall behavior or the recent behavior from the clips that you have shown me, I believe that Ethan is a good person and that eventually he will feel sorrow and will feel sorry and will apologize, and I will be there to evaluate that apology when it happens, which I know it will.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks! Unfortunately, Kirk did not change his grade, but that's okay. Because this is the internet.
Is that supposed to be funny, though? I understand it didn't go his way, and I suppose should be laughing at it. That was just so lame. First of all, that doctor does suck. Internet apologies. Subjective horseshit is that. But I'm a doctor.
Anyone can have their own official apology rating system. So
God, I can't even go out. It's 1:30 in the morning. This sucks.
I'm going to rate Ethan's apology a B-. That's just based on my own feelings and my own rubric. When Psychology in Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan, he said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. I think something that's very important to me in bringing back Content Cop is to be fair. I think that was something that was not illustrated in previous Content Cops.
Keep going.
Oh, this one's fair, but the other ones weren't. That's so funny.
I think should have been, and probably wouldn't have left me with so much regret.
It's fair because it's liberal. That's so funny. Like the arbiters of the truth.
Ethan deserves all of the criticism that he's getting. I think it's very valid. But I also think, at the end of the day, we should acknowledge that he's human because he is human. And he is in a situation that's making him extremely scared, paranoid, defensive, sensitive, and I'm sure other
you spent the entire time showing him on offense.
Features and feelings. In the spirit of Kirk saying that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug, I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice. And
if Nick's gonna stream, I'll try to help him a little.
He is.
Okay, get the fucking thing, and when we're done here, I'll blast the chat.
Charitable about him because I think he deserves it.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot of other people respect you for it as well. I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your
Why couldn't he get the fucking audio
content in the first place? I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview.
Boy, this is so condescending.
No, it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly, when you are being lighthearted,
living a clown.
As long as you don't disagree with us. What a bunch of creeps.
This isn't real, right? Surely
fun
this
with
is
your
ironic.
friends. I think that is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
I will be reading my letter off.
Yeah,
because
we want to tell you what content to make going forward so you can pass. If you don't adhere to these, then we can't sign off on your content.
Fucking
Fucking blow your
This
brains
guy's a
out.
fucking anti-Semitic authoritarian creepazoid is what he is.
I want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports figure that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember.
Oh,
You were one
no
of the
one fucking
inspirations for
cares.
me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this.
That actually probably makes him feel bad.
Go
that
fucking
you
wear a
were
burqa.
inspired. That probably makes him sad that you were inspired by him.
I love my experience with these lefty types. I love when they try to like act like your friend. That's what it does. Like this is a sense of goodwill. I'm gonna politely tell you why you need to shut the fuck up.
And I wish you the best.
I think Ethan Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty good, and I think he's got a good choice of facial hair. I think it's really cool what he did 8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up, and fighting it, he changed YouTube for the better, and I thought that was cool because I thought it was like he was
insincere condescension,
fighting for free speech.
I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neil. I'm like, fuck.
That's not real, is it? This is a joke, right?
It is.
That's that.
Just keep playing.
It's really hard to be a couple online and see people attack.
You're a faggot!
Okay, like if you come to their defense,
there's no way.
That doesn't always help them, right? Sometimes.
What a bunch of. He sounds like a goddamn wine mom.
Oh, that makes it worse for them.
And I have been kind of slipping into a very unhealthy place where it's gotten worse and worse, and I get criticized more and more, and I get more defensive and more hold up, a feeling of almost infallibility that I could take anything on. It led me to make a lot of mistakes, and then when I was criticized for those mistakes, then I would act extremely defensive and nasty and not really
see how ironic this is, even though idubbbz is doing the same thing.
processing them in a healthy way.
Oh, you notice how Hassan is not in there? The whole apology shit.
No,
hey,
so
Willie.
Hey, Hassan wouldn't give away. He didn't have any empathy for those fucking teenagers that got killed at a concert. Why would he be? I ain't doing that. At least, you know what? You know what that is, folks? That's principle. You know Hassan's a bastard. You know who he is. Be an interesting question to ask him. How come everybody went along with your little gay-ass bit at the end, except Hassan?
That at the end is the best thing ever, man.
You know what?
Shut up, Willie.
It's so funny, man. It's
Fuck
like
you. I hope your channel gets deleted.
Hey, when Ian is crying there at the end, I love that he's like crying. He's supposed to be crying for Ethan and Gila.
He's crying about himself being on.
He's crying about himself and Anissa. Yes.
Wow, I tell you something. Leafy told me this fucking years ago. Leafy told me this years ago, and he's 100% correct. He said that making a lot of money before he turned about 20 fucked him up. And you're seeing that, like this amount of money before you kind of totally matured when you're really young, it just fucks you up because it gives you, your ego just becomes, even when you like slip into irrelevancy, you don't go, wow.
No, it's not even that.
You don't think it is? I mean, oh God.
No, it's not even that. It's this, you can see it on Ian. He made all this money and he feels like he didn't do anything to deserve it. And so now he's trying to make up for it by doing quote unquote good instead of, you were being paid to be like a comedian, right? To like make jokes. And like clearly that's not valuable for him. So he needs to do this shit instead to make up for it. It's like, you don't need to make up for anything. Why are you doing this?
Well,
you never did anything wrong. Whoever convinced you you did anything wrong is fucking retarded.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's you think you're such a hot shop YouTuber with all those views, but I had to sit in front of and I had to be on Twitch, and I did 6-hour shifts on Twitch, and that's probably where it came from if I had to guess.
Charity.
Yeah. What about
this guy learned empathy like 2 years ago.
At 30, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, dude.
And now he's like, I know how to end a content cop. I should end every content cop.
Actually,
Like
I got to
this.
be honest with you.
Saying what I like about the person.
From what I can see, he has less empathy. It just depends on if you're what side of the spectrum. If you swallow the.
Well, he was being more fair, Tommy. That's
like half that stuff is just out of context, and it's just him complaining. Like, where's the entertainment and the effort? Like, there's no pizzazz with this content cop.
Well, why would you expect that when it was based on revenge?
I don't know. Revenge is usually kind of funny.
When you
like this is. Where's the funny part, man?
Why fucking Nick never made a fucking video on technicals? Because you can't see straight. Like he wasn't connected to Leafy or Jinx or or
Tommy, as you seen this guy's eyeballs, they can't look straight. All right, like I didn't expect that from him.
Well, no, but I mean, he's obviously capable of making a great video that appeals to fucking lots of people. He's capable of it. Don't you think? Am I crazy here? Am I alone in the world?
It's just been a long time, dude. I just don't know if it's the same man.
I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think that has more to do with worldview than talent. And think about it. If you take away, it's just like I said, I don't know.
I think it has to do with confidence, dude. That dude's confidence is zero.
Like all right, like I give you a color palette to make a painting, right? Right, and you got to make a better painting than the guy next to you. The guy next to you, he has a color palette too, but because of his beliefs and personal, there's certain things he can't do. He can't lose greens, he can't lose reds, and he can't use yellows. Who's gonna make the better painting by default? I've fucking handicapped this guy, or this guy handicapped himself on purpose. That's why it sucks. His worldview prevents him from fucking being funny. Because it's rigid and religious. That's why. It's a very rigid and religious worldview. And then, even if you don't know what you're talking about, even if you don't even understand your religion, the one thing you do understand is your side is always in the right. And that's how you can make a terrible video about like this. Do you understand what I'm saying, Willie? Am I alone in this world? I watched
No, I mean, I don't think you're alone. I think you're totally right in the sense where it's like a personal beef, so the video isn't good.
Yeah.
And like the personal beef is essentially too like Ethan for a total of 8 minutes on a podcast was mad for that I didn't stand up for him on Twitter. It's like essentially the whole premise of the content cop, man.
It's a waste of time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with of him going back at Ethan. I have none. I don't think it was right for him to sit there and demand some sort of put them in a position where they had to speak out. I don't have a problem with going back. What I have a problem with is he told everybody a year ago that he's above this shit. And he's not. He's just as petty and fucking stupid as Ethan. Ethan's not a good guy in this situation either. I think it's just a bunch of lefties eating each other.
Okay, buddy.
I think iDubbbz made a bunch of good points. Like, how lame is that fucking button? You know?
Bro, the button is hilarious, bro. You can't tell me that button isn't fucking funny.
No, it's not. Because, like, in one sense, it's used as something that's kind of funny. In another sense, it's used to pander. So it's not funny to me. It's like you took a paint out of the palette. That's what that button is to me. You can't use greens. That's what that is. You know? And like that's my view on it. Ethan's view on it is like you shouldn't need my thing is you shouldn't need the button because you say what you mean. iDubbbz view on it is you shouldn't use the button because you should be able to control yourself if you are really who you said you are.
What is that, dude?
Yeah. You know? So there you go. What time's Nick going on? Send everybody over there.
He's live now.
He's live right now.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Fucking end this shit. I can't believe it's like 1 in the morning. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, I'm so fucking tired.
Fuck that transvestite.
Nah, dude, fucking done, man.
Nesquick, Opag, Mrexton, B, Billion Bones, Blue Jacket, Cody Grill, Final Flash, G-Man, Little Manly, Not Your Typical Mom, Panic Punk, Taylor D, Tommy C's Cat, Trippy Savage, Winter Gaming, Genie, Picklington, and I'll see y'all. Monday. Yeah, and peace, Middle Eastern Greece. Thanks so much for the support. It's a great day. I am out of here. Peace.